Hello, everybody. Welcome back to yet another Hangout. First of all, sorry for the delay. The people I actually wanted in here just joined a few minutes ago, so we couldn't
Fuck
be punctual. Yeah, I know. Microblog has been here the first one.
Don't lie.
Sly and Rumpus and also a little bit Hell, so I really wanted you guys in here. Because you regularly have conversations with Riley as well. So
we do.
Not on purpose.
Yeah, not on purpose, but it happens.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are we going to talk about today? Riley made a really weird and pretty extraordinary and frankly quite idiotic claim.
Am I going to have to open up Max?
No.
No? Okay.
Nobody's got time for that.
So Sly, you don't actually know what this will be about, right?
Actually, I don't know.
Okay.
You and me both.
Sly, can you tell me what causes ocean waves?
Primarily. Oh, you mean out in the ocean or at the shore?
Out in the ocean.
I'm gonna say I'm not terribly versed on it. It's
make an educated guess.
Wind and weather, I guess, or if
Yeah,
not tides.
Yeah,
wind is a pretty good idea.
Yeah.
So I had this conversation with Riley a few days ago, talking about how the atmosphere rotates with the planet.
Right.
And he said that he doesn't think that this would be possible. Why? Can you guess why?
Because there's no air. I don't know.
No. Being no air, that would be too easy.
Yeah.
You're asking Sly to work out how to say something as stupid as Riley. That's quite a challenge.
Okay, Sly. So do me a favor and just switch off 80% of your brain. Then maybe you might find out.
Okay. It won't do it because the Earth is spinning 1,000 miles an hour.
Okay.
I found that, in fact, when you're as stupid as these people, their whole imagination runs riot, and they think of all these amazing things that just doesn't occur to you because our brains are constrained by logic, reason, reality, and knowledge of the world. But they're not. They're not constrained by any of those things. So they come up with these incredibly wacky ideas that you could not even consider thinking about without being as stupid as they are. It's just amazing.
Okay, guys, let me tell you. Riley doesn't think that there's friction between the Earth and the Earth's atmosphere.
Why not?
Yeah, okay, so...
Right, but hold on, we need to establish whether he thinks the Earth rotates, because we've got to say, this is a conditional on, even if he accepts that the Earth's rotating, he says the atmosphere wouldn't.
So here's the story behind this, okay? We were talking about this 1,000 miles per hour on the equator thing versus 15 degrees per hour, okay?
Uh-huh.
And I pretty much told him that it pretty much doesn't matter which one of the two quantities you use, as long as you plug it into the correct equations for the centrifugal acceleration, you will get the right result.
Right.
Which is why, for example, on the equator, as contrary to what flat earthers say, the ocean actually doesn't fly off into space.
You don't say.
Yeah. Okay. So I told him, yeah, you pretty much cannot feel speed. All you can feel is centrifugal or centripetal acceleration. And as a result, he said that, yeah, we can feel speed. And when I told him that, well, he pretty much said that. I'll just show you. Let's do it this way. That's.
I was going to say it sounds like I hear a big nuh-uh coming.
Well, yeah, because the thing you can't feel is centrifugal or centripetal acceleration. That's the trouble. It's so small you can't feel it.
Okay, so this was a conversation I had with him. We were talking obviously about Geronism's hangout a few days ago, right? So I told him that we did address the relationship between tangential speed and rotational speed and the centrifugal acceleration, which is what we actually need to find out whether to find out whether the claims that the flat earthers make about the spherical Earth model would be true. So let's just read that. Rumpus, do me a favor. You play Riley.
Oh, thanks, you bastard.
Hey, you got the accent.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
Let's just start here.
Okay. Put on your best Liverpool. Come on.
Yeah, Liverpool. Yeah, scale. Oh, I can't do regional accents. I can only do received pronunciation. But anyway, I'll give it a go. I can't see it. Oh, wait, I was looking at your thing.
You're actually going to do Scouser.
Yeah, you got to present to everyone, Gio.
Oh, I am sorry.
Yeah, I had to click on your thing to see it.
There we go.
Right. Okay, so I'm Riley. Okay. God. Oh, right, you're going first. Okay.
Okay, so let me go first.
What'd you do? Gray it out so we can't read it?
We did address that. We thoroughly talked about the relation between the tangential speed and the centrifugal acceleration.
What do you mean by acceleration? Anyway, so how exactly have you debunked it? You understand S, presumably that's speed.
He's saying speed equals distance per time.
As opposed to say, oh, sorry. Let me think. I don't know what the normal symbol for velocity is, so I'll use S for speed. Okay.
Yeah, let's give him that. That's okay.
Is equal to D over T, right? So he's asking you if you know that speed is equal to S over time, right? Oh my God. Not centrifugal velocity, tangential. I didn't see rim velocity mentioned once. Timestamp?
And yeah, we did mention the rim velocity. We were talking about how you can still plug in the 1,000 miles per hour. Or since we're not retarded, we're using the correct unit, which is kilometers per hour. When you plug that in into the correct equation, you will get the same centrifugal acceleration as if you were using the rotational speed. So yeah, I said somewhere in the middle, I actually didn't know the timestamp. It was a 3.5 fucking hour long hangout.
Jesus Christ, you subject yourself to that, bloody hell.
Yeah, so
come on,
I told him if you wanted to find out, you just have to look it up. Okay. Yeah, there we go.
Okay, you've done that. Speed equals distance over time. Oh, thank God I remembered that looking on Google. The time is the same. One revolution a day. The time. What? The one revolution a day, but
I'll just say it.
The time is the same. One revolution a day, but the size of the radius means the distance covered is huge. Rearrange and you have 1,000 miles per hour at the equator, bit on a curved path. If it were a straight line, you'd be right, but on a curve, F me, man, you must see this destroys the nonsense that we are spinning. Actually, you do see it. You just BS your way through it. Jesus Christ, what a
okay, and then I told him, yeah, of course, we know that the surface speed on the equator is 1,000 miles per hour. That's perfectly fine. Nobody is denying that or anything. However, as I told him, the important thing about this is the centrifugal acceleration. And this is also the one that we need to calculate, and the one that we did actually calculate live in the last hangout. And that we can determine this either from the angular velocity or the tangential velocity. So here's the crux of this.
And you said, and the acceleration is minuscule, which is the key point.
Yeah, exactly. It's minuscule even compared to the... Well,
why is centrifugal acceleration even important here? God, I don't understand why you're citing it at all. You tosser, Alex. I don't know why.
Say it like you mean it then.
It's a huge maximum Dunning-Kruger mode. It's a huge bore. Why do these globers not understand this? The acceleration will be tiny. What? It's not a celebration. It's not the celebration. It's not the acceleration that's the issue. It's the lateral tangential velocity. Oh my God.
Yeah. So I told him, yeah, you cannot literally feel speed.
Yeah, but hold on. He just said it's the lateral tangential velocity. No, that's not acceleration. That's not the issue. It's not the oh God.
And plus tangential velocity. Wouldn't that be actually your speed being flung off of something?
Yes, yes. And we need acceleration. It's the acceleration that you can feel. You can't feel velocity. You moron, Riley.
And if you were effectively being slung off, you wouldn't feel acceleration.
Brilliant. And Alex,
no, you wouldn't. That's why people feel weightlessness.
And Alex comes back exactly with the right response. Brilliant.
Yeah. Again, you cannot feel speed. You can only feel acceleration. And this is now the point which confused me a little bit.
Okay, I'll see if I can bring some clarity to this. But you say the atmosphere is in lockstep with us turning, right? I say the atmosphere is a resist. I say the atmosphere is a resistance. If that makes it, but it isn't a friction.
It's fighting. It's standing up against
what? like the French resistance. Yeah, a few millimeters above the surface, and there is no friction for lockstep. The atmos needs to be a friction material.
Millimeters above the surface. No, it goes all the way down to the surface.
For lockstep, but it's not, because it's not a friction material. It isn't turning with us as if we're turning. You would indeed feel the speed. I know you will disagree, but you still cannot prove the Earth is turning. In fact, all the empirical science tells us that we are not moving.
Okay, so
have you never used?
Wait a second, Rumpus. Let's just ignore the last sentence. Let's just concentrate on the paragraph in the middle, okay?
Gio, can I propose a science experiment?
Sure.
For him to do. It's called filling a bathtub, sticking your hand inside it, or actually, if you could even submerge your entire body. Wait until the water is at rest again, and then start moving your hands, and you'll see that the top of the water will start moving.
I have a similar experiment I would like to propose to him. If he would jump from a tall building, at some point he would feel the wind resistance.
Yeah.
I also have an experiment I would like to propose. It also involves a involves a bathtub. What you do is that you go under the water and you stay there till the bubbles stop.
Okay, to check whether the resistance there is caused by electrolysis, I actually recommend dipping a toaster in first.
We heard you, Jared. Oh, he's gone. He's gone.
Oh. Now, I like this sentence. I say the Atmos is a resistance, but stop moving it.
Yeah, sorry.
I say the Atmos is a resistance, but it isn't a friction material. Have you ever used a fan, Riley?
He doesn't understand that air resistance is actually a result of the friction between the air molecules and the object in question.
I think he's saying something a little bit. I'm going to give him some extra credit here. I'm going to risk it, guys.
Randy's rule number 1: never give them anything.
I think what he's trying to talk about is
Jared.
It's a shear force. He's actually trying to describe whether or not whether gases can support a shear force. I think that's what he's trying to say.
Well, here is an easier representation to actually go towards the whole you get friction from the atmosphere. Take a billiard cue.
I was just about to say the same thing.
Yeah, put it at the end of a high-speed drill, turn it on, and you can actually get a wind from the edge of the billiard ball.
Oh, actually, I was not going to say the same thing.
But no, it's one of those things. You can put a smooth spherical object into a high rotational speed, and you will get that motion transferred to the atmosphere directly next to it.
Yeah,
I was going to use billiard though, saying that when you have all the balls lined up to do the spread, the white ball never actually hits anything but the first ball it strikes.
Right.
But guess what?
But all the others move.
Yeah, but because energy gets transferred, and that doesn't change on the micro scale with individual air molecules. There's energy transfer from molecule to molecule.
I don't quite understand the point you make, but Jared's point was exactly correct. That demonstrates that
what he was saying about the pool table was the the transfer of friction between different objects located next to each other, as opposed to being just the one that is directly affected.
Yeah, because
so Riley's argument here is that a centimeter above the Earth is no longer directly touching the air.
Yes.
And so he's saying that the only thing that would move with it would be the stuff directly down, touching the air in first contact with the air. And what the pool table thing is there to say is that no, because there are individual molecules in the air. When one gets bumped, it bumps another one, and it bumps another one, and they bump more. And that's how that transfer happens.
Yeah, but that's very different. What Halsey described was a linear momentum there.
No, Halsey just described, used that example to say that, you can get reactions, movement in a series of motion of things interacting.
Because, perhaps if I draw a diagram.
I like how this is getting incredibly complicated.
It was a perfectly good example.
Well, hold on. Well, do we understand the difference between shear forces and non-shears?
That's not really relevant right now.
It's
obviously, we are talking about a movement that is perpendicular to actually the arrangement of the objects in question.
We need to draw a diagram.
No, we don't.
We do. We do. We do.
Because he's not talking about shears.
He is. He's trying to. He can't use the right word.
He's trying to create a shear.
Yes, he's right. So hold on. Let me just draw a diagram here. So here we have the ground, and
you're drawing as well.
Yeah, I'm drawing here.
Okay,
Presenting.
let's see who's faster.
Right. Oh, I see. You.
my money's on Geo. Just saying.
Right. So here we have. Okay. So here we have.
Geo won. Look.
Oh. What did he do? I'm drawing.
I'm not sure why this is getting so complicated.
No,
Well,
I really don't understand it.
Because, well, we need to understand what a shear force is. So
why?
Why?
Because that's what's happened. That's how the atmosphere acquires a velocity.
You haven't even read the rest of the conversation.
Yeah, but here's what he's trying to say. He's saying a few millimeters up, you wouldn't get a force, and it's a shear force. So, for instance, if I got this line here, and we have the air molecules here. Now, there's a big difference between a pool-type scenario that Halsoy described, where you have the force of something, bashing into that, and then that bashes that. But
I mean, that is exactly what happens.
Geo, you got to hit the buttons. You can't just dance around them, man.
So I don't know what Geo's doing. Whether he's presenting. So here we have. So if this is moving, so if this surface here is moving, we describe the shear as to what effect that would have. So if this surface here is moving, say to the right here, will that affect the balls that I've got above it?
I think Rump's drawing is actually better.
Oh, right. Okay. So and then now, if this was a perfectly smooth surface, then indeed there's no way of transferring this.
Yes, there is.
No, there isn't. No, there isn't.
Rumpus, that's not true.
Well, not.
That's
That's still Van der Waals forces, for example, going on.
You got weak forces going on, or electromagnetic forces, and shit like that.
You cannot have a frictionless surface.
Yeah, but hold on. The Van der Waals forces would be hold on. The Van der Waals forces would be all pointing uniformly like that, so it wouldn't.
Yes, so it's pressed into it, and then when it hits it,
exactly.
As soon as the air molecules, for example, are in direct contact with the surface, for example, with Van der Waals forces.
No, right.
Or think about ball bearing.
Then it's accelerated to one side.
Who's hissing?
Yeah, someone's hissing. Someone's making a great hissy sound.
I think it's Jared.
Yeah.
All right.
Air molecules in question will actually be dragged along the surface.
Yeah, right.
They have attractive interactions between the surface and the molecules.
Right, if you play Arkanoid, you know.
Right, but hold on. The attractive force. If this was attractive to these things, it'd still be. If this was uniform, this surface here, there's no. The fact that it's moving wouldn't change the. It wouldn't encourage the force to drag them along.
No, that's not true. Because you're forgetting that any molecule in the air, for example, take the one the one which is already connected to that one.
Okay. Yeah.
This one will be connected via, for example, it will have a Van der Waals interaction between a single molecule on the surface, which is a part of the surface.
Well, no, it'll be attracted to all. There'll be all sorts of molecules to be attracted to. This one will be attracted to like
again,
this.
I'm not sure why you're overcomplicating this so much.
Because right. Okay. Let me finish then. Right. So I do not believe if this was a perfectly frictional surface, you would.
It doesn't exist.
Well, in molecules there is. At the atomic level, there is frictionless. There is no friction at atomic level.
No, that's not true.
Yes, it is. There's no. You can't.
The Van der Waals forces will drag the molecule along with the surface. No. Because the reason those forces exist to begin with is because there's no it's not entirely the fields that they're actually as results of are not entirely uniform. Yeah, so you will have differences, so it will be dragged along.
Well, if it was uniform,
pretty much it has something to do with the, for example, well, there are various types we have to take apart. For example, dipole interactions. Let's just forget those, okay?
Don't forget that you're giving Riley a lot of credit, thinking he thinks this is actually how it works.
Right now, what he's trying to say is shear forces don't exist in the atmosphere. And what actually happens, of course, is you've got a bump here. So you have a bump in the surface here, and then what happens is the molecule here comes along and hits this, and then is bounced this way. That's actually how you have imparting a shear. So in other words, as Geo's whether or not you can impart the velocity of this to the velocity of the of the molecules here, and that's much more difficult for a gas. So the shear stress you describe across the length of this thing, you say what is the velocity of these things across a particular height, and
basically you want the profile of the velocity.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not sure if you're also assuming that the delta V here is 1,000 miles an hour. It's not. It's been spinning for a long time.
Well, that's another issue. The question
guys, stop. Let's just assume from the start that in this ideal scenario, which we're trying to construct here, the surface of the planet would be indeed spinning at 1,000 miles per hour, and the atmosphere above it would be perfectly stationary.
Exactly, the starting condition. Exactly.
Yes, exactly.
So the question is, Riley's trying to say in his own stupid way, he doesn't believe that a moving surface will be able to impart a velocity to the atmosphere, and because he doesn't understand there's a shear, whether or not you can apply a shear to a gas, and indeed you can, because of objects like this, and not it's because of varied shape, it will actually bash these things and then send them off in this direction. So it will gradually.
But again, Rumpus, this even works without those bumps on the surface.
Yeah.
Even if the surface is perfect.
I think there would be much. You're claiming that the Van der Waals forces would do that. I'm suspicious.
Rumpus, wait a second. And the reason is simple. The surface actually isn't smooth when it comes to, for example, electrostatics. Because there will be spaces in between the atoms on the surface, or the surface of the atoms, where the electrostatic potential, for example, will be higher or smaller.
Right, but
this is the location where the air molecules will actually be accelerated towards.
Right.
Yep.
When those
I don't believe that
positions on the surface will
they never get that
motion,
close.
then the air molecules will be accelerated in this direction.
I don't mean to sound like a dick, but can we assume less and just continue reading that conversation?
This is the crucial concept you need to understand. How
we all understand this concept.
Sorry?
We all understand this concept.
Well, I dispute these electrostatic. I think if a molecule was coming in here, I don't think they'd be able to differentiate between because they're moving, several thousand miles an hour. Whether or not there's electrostatic.
You don't actually understand on how quick those interactions actually are.
Yeah,
I do. They're very quick.
Also, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how fast the molecule is moving. As long as that interaction happens, that will change it.
For example, you understand that certain types of surface analyses can only be done in ultra-high vacuums, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you understand why?
Because otherwise the gas gets sort of mixed up in the surface.
Basically, what happens is there's always a layer of gas molecules sitting on top of metal surfaces.
Right.
Around, and we have pretty much no way of cleaning those surfaces from the gas molecules apart from removing all the atmosphere and then heating the entire thing up until the gas molecules actually are energy rich enough in order to bounce off the
How are they bonded to the how are they bonded to the metal?
I already told you.
Sorry, I missed that. Then you said they were there. They were sitting on the metal.
Yeah, basically, there's different types of interactions going on. For example, Rumpus, there's different types of interactions going on. For example, when you have a metal surface, obviously there's
Van der Waals forces.
Van der Waals forces, for example. If you have a plastic surface, there can also be hydrogen bonds, depending on what plastic you have.
Right.
That's a possibility. Right. For example, if you're talking about water vapor. Water vapor is perfectly able of forming hydrogen bonds with surface plastic or plastics in the surface.
Right.
Okay. So there is attractive forces between those, and as soon as the surface itself starts moving, the gas molecules that sit on top of it are going to get dragged along with it.
Okay. So you're saying there are hydrogen bonds and,
for example,
so you're actually sitting there. Okay. All right.
They're actually sitting there in pretty much fixed places. Which is why you can actually see those places directly using STMs, scanning tunneling microscopes. At the university with carbon monoxide. Carbon monoxide is quite interesting regarding that because it's a nice dipole.
Right. Would oxygen do that then, or is it just water that have? Because obviously that's got ability to do.
Everything pretty much does that. The question is just how much. But there's
Right,
no gas that doesn't do that. Even normal gases do this.
Okay, then. So, okay, that's okay. That is valid. I was thinking Van der Waals wouldn't be good enough, but okay, all right. You've got other bonds as well. Okay, I'll accept that then. So this does stick there, and obviously once it's stuck here, it will acquire the velocities, and of course then it will eventually leap off. But I suspect the main mechanism is just simply the irregular nature of a surface, and particularly we've got mountains and things. Which
I agree. Most of the time, obviously, it's what you're talking about. But I'm just saying that even if the Earth was perfectly smooth, you would still get that.
Okay, I'll accept that. Then hydrogen bonds, yeah. Okay, I was thinking Van der Waals wouldn't be good enough, but you're right. If it's actually hydrogen bonds.
As long as there's an interaction going on, you will see this.
Yeah, okay, but it'll be much less. But yeah, the main reason is little bumps and things in it, very conveniently adding to it. And then so basically you can apply. Now the question is then what happens up here once you get this molecule accelerated by hitting this or something? It'll then hit this one, which will then hit this one. So you will gradually impart
the one molecule hitting another molecule was the whole point of Halsoy's billiard ball analogy.
Yeah. No, but this is a shear. That's very okay. Well, okay.
That is a perfectly good analogy.
Okay. Well, I always thought he was implying it'd be hitting like this. I didn't.
All that's gonna happen is that as soon as you have molecules that are accelerated with the surface, you will have an exchange of momentum between the individual gas molecules or atoms.
Yeah.
And this will, on the long term, average out to have them. The average momentum pointing the same direction as the surface.
Okay, we've established this. Can we move on?
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Okay. Let's continue with Riley's stupidity.
Where are we?
Fuck's sake. Here.
Define lockstep.
Okay, so I didn't actually know the term lockstep.
Yeah.
Wait, a German didn't know the term lockstep?
Just means it grips together, moves together.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay. Resistance is not the same as friction. Friction requires contact. So I guess we've already established that there is contact between the atmosphere and the surface, right?
Yep.
Okay.
And it can apply. And the key thing is, you may not think whether things like syrup, for instance, you can think that might apply shear force. But as we've established here, you can even do it with gases. Can still apply shear force.
Yes, obviously with liquids it's much worse, because the quantity that is in question is the viscosity of the fluid.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, that determines the shear stress.
Yeah. So, for example, if you compare syrup to water, the shear force you will have. Typical experiment that's done is that you have two plates in a certain distance from one another. You apply a force to one of them. You accelerate it in one direction, and then you measure on how much the other one is accelerated.
Yeah, so I'll draw that in my diagram there. So as you drew there. So in other words, if I put another plate here, and if I move this plate here, what force is exerted on this plate up here if I move this plate? And if you have the same distance, what you say, 1 centimeter between them, what's the force exerted on that by moving into a certain force on here? And then you can measure the viscosity. And obviously, gas, it's very little. And the syrup, it'd be a lot more. And obviously, it was solid, it'd be even more.
Okay. So you can actually derive from those experiments a constant, or not a constant, a coefficient for each individual substance, be it a fluid or a gas. It's called the viscosity coefficient, I think.
Yeah, coefficient of viscosity, I think that's the right one. Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah, viscosity coefficient, exactly. Not just viscosity. Unit is Newton seconds per square meters. Whatever. So yeah, guess which gas has a viscosity constant? For fuck's sake, not constant, coefficient. Viscosity coefficient.
All of them?
So that includes air?
I think so.
No, air. Remember, air isn't a gas. A gas. It's an element like earth, wind, and fire.
Oh, I forgot about that one.
Not wind, earth. For fuck's sake, earth, water, and fire.
So yeah, obviously, I showed him a citation or actually a table for air viscosity.
Oh, right. Yeah, well done.
By the way, which is obviously temperature dependent.
I just adapted a 1.5-inch steel ball bearing to my drill to try out the friction test.
And it work?
Like doing an now slide.
I got it right now, yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
but unfortunately, I don't have any like smoke or anything that I could do because I don't smoke in my house. Just wanted to see if it was possible. I made a magnetic bit. While you guys were on and on about what was hitting
Sheer
it,
stress
what
is
wasn't.
it.
Yeah.
Oh, well done, Gio, though, for shoving in a viscosity of air for thing there. Yeah, excellent.
By the way, the value for air at, let's say, 25 degrees Celsius is... wait a second. Where is it?
Wait for it.
Oh, there it is. 1.849 times 10 to the minus 5 Newton meters per square second.
That doesn't sound like a lot.
No, it's not much.
I mean, that's the reason why you can actually walk through air.
Well, you can walk through water as well, but anyone who's ever done that knows how much force you have to put in there and how high the resistance is.
And I'm supposed to now say, no, you can have. I think he's trying to say you can't have. No, you can. Sorry, you can have resistance without friction, but you cannot have friction unless you demonstrate it. Demonstrate that a gas will current like water does with 1 revolution per day.
It's a fluid, so yes, it will.
Okay, guys. Can you name any phenomena in nature where the friction between the Earth and the surface of the planet are actually relevant for this phenomenon to occur?
Waves.
Weather.
Waves is one, yeah?
Weather.
Yeah.
Coriolis.
Effect.
I don't think the Coriolis.
Hold on.
Yes, it is.
Let me get
Coriolis
my.
kind of.
is like a hurricane is a consequence of
Friction with the atmosphere.
which in turns ultimately is a consequence of friction with the ground.
I'm sorry, I don't have my shill handbook out right now.
Okay, micro, we were talking about an earlier one when we were still offline.
Wind erosion, was that?
Yep, wind erosion.
True, yeah.
I mean, wind erosion isn't like the wind actually doing erosion. Wind erosion is the consequence of the small bits that get picked up.
Yeah, wind
get picked up by wind because there's friction between them and
I guess we could go one more out.
Yeah, but that's different from shear stress again.
Well,
not the shear stress.
But at this point, it doesn't matter anymore.
The whole point is that the air moves. Doesn't matter what kind of stress it is.
Is it?
No, just drop shear stress.
Yeah.
Okay, so a little bit later, I asked him specifically because I still was thinking at this point in the conversation that I was misunderstanding something. You think there can't be any friction between the atmosphere and the ground? He said only on the first few millimeters. I'll give you a generous foot with an aggregated mountain ranges and slip ridge over the seas. Overall, no. The atmosphere is not a friction material, and you have fuck all evidence that it is. Remember how heavy the weight of the atmosphere is. You need to move that weight with the rotation of the Earth. Utterly ridiculous. Do you guys know on how much the air actually weighs? How much
it weighs? No, you have to give us a quantity, a volume of it.
Okay, so
the mass of the atmosphere.
No. Let's just say you have a square meter of ground surface, right?
I forget how many tons it is, but it's
how much mass does the air?
Do you mean a cubic? Do you mean a cubic meter rather than a square?
No. I'm talking a square meter of surface of planet surface.
And then all the way up.
Exactly. How much does all the air that is on top of it weigh?
I'm gonna say.
Well, convert
2 kilos.
Well, convert 14.3 psi.
That's pressure
with the square meter. Yeah.
With density. He's asking the density. He's asking.
No.
Weight.
He's asking the weight of the column of air.
The weight of a column. The weight of a volume of air is the atmospheric pressure of that volume of air.
It's a 1 by 1 by 100,000 meters of air. That's what he's asking for.
Yeah, approximately, yes.
And as I said, I am gonna guess 2 kilos.
No, it's much more.
3 kilos?
Much more.
26 birds.
It's in the tons area.
Yes, tons, yeah.
It's about 10 to 12 tons, something like that.
Yeah. Close.
So I mean, it sounds like a lot, but compare that to the first 3 meters of soil below you, or the
Yeah.
first 10 meters of soil below you. So when it comes to the mass of the atmosphere compared to just the first few meters of soil, that's nothing.
Indeed.
So yeah, the atmosphere on a geological scale is actually negligible when it comes to its weight.
So I'm just almost confused as to how we can make statements saying that there's actually literally no friction at all between air and anything. Like we have tons of things that has to work around. Like if you're ever taking a plane, the reason the plane has to use a lot of fuel, or one of them, is because of the drag or the
Yeah, which drag is friction.
No, but again, you're getting
Yeah, but drag in this case is not the shear force.
exactly. You're going to make sure you're not getting confused between shear forces and the frontal area of the aeroplane. And there's a formula for that, which is rho v squared, which is to do with the impact head on.
Basically, the speed of the object multiplied by its surface or its front area multiplied by a coefficient.
That's right. See, and then v squared.
But here's the thing:
by the density of the fluid around it.
Yeah.
While that frontal cross section of an aircraft does provide the majority of the drag, it does not provide the entirety of a drag. You are still getting slippage across the fuselage, slippage across the wings. You're also getting it from the actual intake of the engine, and you're also getting it from the drag of the vortices off of all of the surfaces.
Yeah, so there's a shear drag as well. So there's the frontal stuff, and then you get the shear drag, which is the sort of parasitic drag. So yeah, exactly right. Yeah.
And also, as someone mentioned before, the fact that you can have a fan, like it literally requires that there's some interaction between the air and the blades to move that air.
And then also the air and the other air particles.
Yeah, or the fact that you can walk outside and actually feel the breeze on your face.
I mean, does Riley understand that tornadoes are a thing?
I would assume no. Like, it's just such a stupid statement saying that the atmosphere has no friction. Like, you wouldn't actually feel the breeze if it didn't interact with you.
But again, tornadoes are not a shear force.
Doesn't matter.
It does. You don't know it
doesn't.
Wait, stop.
Damn.
No, it doesn't.
Riley doesn't try to make a distinction here. We shouldn't tear it apart.
Yeah, but he's trying to. He's trying to say we've got the Earth rotating.
That's just something you're claiming.
No, it's obvious from what he's saying. He thinks there's a few millimeters. He's thinking that something like dragging it along, it's a sideways force.
Hold on a second, guys. Let me give you something obvious. Right now, somewhere, you know that Riley is listening to this and he's laughing his ass off. Can we move on?
Yeah.
There's a big difference between shear forces and frontal forces.
Yes, there are, but it's relevant to this.
Fucking drop it! Holy shit!
Well, tornadoes are very different to the shear force of accelerating the atmosphere of a rotating thing. That's not equivalent.
I understand it's not equivalent.
No one's saying I'm
not talking about the tornado itself. I'm talking on its impact on the environment.
Okay.
I mean, strong tornadoes literally tear the asphalt out of the ground.
Yeah.
More stupid.
Yeah, I suspect that's not mostly through shear forces, though. Anyway, carry on.
I don't know. Probably not, no.
It's still an interaction between the air and the ground, which is the whole point.
Yeah, but there's a big difference between a shear interaction
and... We get it, Rumpus. We get it.
We heard you.
Right, good.
If I hear that word shear again.
Ay. Where was I? Yes, okay. So yeah, he gave us a little bit of a challenge. Am I sharing this?
Yes, you are.
I mean, challenge is a little bit of a big word. I think it's a little bit overkill. And just demonstrate how gas will act like fluid above a foot or so of an object moving.
Demonstrate how a fluid will act like a fluid. Thank you.
How gas will act like a fluid above.
And gas is a type of fluid.
Yeah. Not rhetoric demonstrated. There's a difference between describing logic and proving that it is actually true. Okay. So let's just assume that Riley is talking about shear force alone. Okay, Rumpus?
Okay.
Okay, so what type of experiment would we propose to actually show this?
That shit. Well, we'd do what your sliding experiment that you described earlier, where you'd put two plates across one another and see what forces one acted on another.
Yeah, for example, you could also modify this by not using two sliding plates, but using one rotating drum, which is
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
proposing.
Yeah,
and a second drum that is not rotating, but that can rotate because it is connected via a ball bearing or something with it.
Can I share something real quick?
Sure.
This is a perfect example of what everybody is saying. Now, this is somebody else's video. Hold on a second. Share.
Being presented.
Okay. These are multiple ball bearings.
Yes, there we go. That's a nice one.
Larger to larger to larger. Now, this is actually a record attempt on how long you can get it to spin.
That's a fucking Skookum spinner.
Right. Now, all you have to do, the one in the middle is fixed and holding its place. All the other ones are obviously turned as part of that. Hold on a second here. Meaning that they are interacting with each other, just as all of you have been saying. Hold on, let me get it back to a place where I can actually see the slow-mo of it actually spinning. I saw it a minute ago. And it's basically, even though he's only going to spin the middle one, all of them are spinning with various levels of friction between the inner and outer rings. That's your shear force. That's or an example of the shear force. That's what do you call it? Obviously, the balls in the middle were never touched, but because of the fact that there is force going on the outside, force going on the inside, it's the friction between them. This is like probably the best way you could demonstrate this.
But slide, that's not air.
I totally agree with you there. What do you call it? But ultimately, it's the same process, because if not, only one ring would
principle.
Yeah. If not, only one ring would turn.
I'm aware that it's the same principle. I'm just saying that Riley probably.
I would argue it's not the same principle, because they're rolling. They're rolling, which is not what atoms do.
But what's causing them to roll is the friction between the layers.
Yes.
Okay.
And atoms can totally roll.
That's the point that's being made, is the friction between the layers is causing each one of those rings to the friction actually is causing them to rotate.
I don't think atoms
how long
can
does this thing rotate? I'm just curious.
Wait, Rumpus, are you claiming that you can't impart rotate
angular
velocity into?
They're very fussy. Atoms are very fussy about how they rotate.
Yeah,
they got restricted by quantum mechanics as to how they can rotate.
That's true.
Yeah, when they're in a molecule,
that's fussy as well.
On their own, they can still turn every which way.
But yeah, again, in this case, when you're talking about individual gas molecules, first of all, forget the term rotating, because they're not actually analogous.
Right, they're bumping into each other due to friction.
Exactly, they're bumping into each other. There's a transfer of momentum.
I know that. I was just saying that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can get an atom to rotate.
Yeah, you can get it to rotate, but
do that, yes.
on a macromolecular scale, this is actually not what's happening here.
I know.
All right, you can then present.
Can I also dumb this down, just assuming just taking his words and not assuming his intent?
Sure.
Okay, light a candle, extinguish it, let the smoke rise, and then wave a foot below it.
Yeah.
The smoke will move. There you go. That's a practical example of how you can demonstrate that it acts like a fluid.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, again, all those weather phenomena that we have, all of it, wind resistance, we have all of it. The fact that sails work, the fact that wind turbines work, the fact that fucking helicopters work, that's all because there's friction between the
air molecules.
The air molecules, and
actually, I'll give you an even more practical thing. Just recently, well, not just recently. Now it's been about 2 years now, 3 years. Frankfurt Airport got a new runway.
Which one? I think they actually got 2 new ones, didn't they?
Well, I'm talking about the northwest runway.
The one on the other side of the highway.
Right.
Okay.
And one of the biggest complaints were, and they tried to make this into a complaint, but it turns out it was other things. But there was a lot of studies done on it and to find out its legitimacy, and that is low-flying aircraft, which we all know. You get those vortexes that come off the sides of the tips of the wings.
Yes,
Yeah, they're so cool.
in modern aircraft, you have winglets to actually reduce those.
To reduce that, right?
Yep.
But the vortexes that come off of those, which they turn fast enough to actually affect temperature, to actually optically affect what you can see through that air. But the not only that, they were trying to say that they were blowing off tiles off of roofs of one of the towns that was in the landing path, and now they only found one that they found to be legit on that. Other people were just trying to get a new roof, but that's also a very typical thing that actually happens. And so to say that there's no friction between air molecules just because one air molecule got hit by the wing and other air molecules are not affected is just ignorant.
Wind turbines don't work on friction. That's because, again, they just rely on the frontal impact. That's not friction. That's just an imparting momentum at an angle. That's not a frictional thing.
Okay, I didn't bring up anything.
So I'm asking. Sorry, it's something that Geo just about wind.
Yeah, that was my point. Wait a second.
Yeah, that doesn't work with friction. That's not friction. It's not. It would work if you have perfectly frictionless wind turbines. It would still work. It's the angle of the blade and it's hitting the molecules hitting them. So again, it's not shear.
No, it's not hitting them. It's sliding past them.
No, it's hitting them.
No, it's not. They don't just work by hitting them. They work like.
All right, guys. Right now, you're about to get into a discussion about lift versus impact.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really got nowhere to go.
The same way that airplane wings work.
Right.
Yeah.
There's even an argument amongst physicists, some of them, that try and say that lift doesn't exist. It's actually the impact on the bottom. And the other one say it has nothing to do with the impact on the bottom because you can carry bombs on the bottom of fighter aircraft, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You guys are about to go into that argument.
Yeah,
you don't see it yet, but you are.
No, you're right. It's like there is, and you have to combine it in two ways. It's certainly not just due to the impact. If you do the equations for just impact, it doesn't actually give you the full result. And actually, most of the lift you get is not from the impact force, but actually the fact that it has to go around the other side of the wing and generate a lower pressure.
And
so
that's pressure, that's pressures, that's friction, that's all kinds of neato stuff. So come on,
aerodynamics. Yeah, so you're right, Sly. Yeah, there is.
Yeah, we need an expert on fluid dynamics in here. I have the feeling.
Wait, fluid dynamics or aerodynamics? Because
Same thing.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah, one is the
Air is a type of fluid, ergo fluid dynamics applies to it.
But if you stick with just aerodynamics, which is part of the coursework for an aeronautical engineering degree, you don't go full on into fluid dynamics. You stay at a high level of it. Exactly, which is why I wanted the clarification.
Hey, but I know of a doctor.
It's a subset of one.
Is there someone in here with that type of degree? Oh yeah, me.
Okay,
tell us about Bernoulli, Jared, and Stokes' Navier equation.
Don't forget posterior law.
Okay, Rumpus. You see the level of stupid that we're dealing with.
I know.
And the level of stupid I've already dealt with for 3 days now in a row.
Really?
Yeah, we don't need to go into that level of ownership with it.
I know. I'm agreeing with you, Jared. Right, so we're talking about wind turbines. So we agreed there's a combination of impact and aerodynamic effects that Sly mentioned.
I mean, obviously, we're trying to dumb this down as much as possible.
But it's not to do with shear stresses, which is the thing about rotating the Earth and accelerating the atmosphere. Because the whole subject here is the Earth rotating and the shear stress it applies to the atmosphere above it, and to get that to rotate as well.
So yeah, again, the experiment that I would propose to do, which is actually quite easy. You have this rotating drum, which you drive with a motor or whatever. And then you have the second hollow rotating drum around it with air in between.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So yeah, if the outer one just starts rotating after a while, then there's friction between the two.
Yep. That'd be a fantastic experiment. Yeah, exactly. Prove it. Yeah.
In before Riley claims that that's because the drum is magnetic and drags it along or something like that.
Oh dear. Yeah, well, obviously we could design that out.
Yeah, I'm just
See,
I'm just saying you can he's gonna make up stupid excuses.
Well,
Of course, you're gonna make up stupid excuses.
Well, and here's the beautiful thing: when they try to go down that route with it, you can easily replace a metal 55-gallon drum with a plastic polyethylene one.
I know.
So it's like, yeah, here we go. We're using non-magnetic material. I mean, fuck, we're using non-metals.
Well,
still
the best idea would
happens.
actually be to use one of the drums being metal and the other one being a non-metal.
Correct.
Because this way you could rule out magnetic interactions and electrostatic interactions.
But
But
here's
what
the
about
beautiful-
plastic magnetics?
Here is the beautiful. You're getting into the plasticity of a metal at that point, not actually propylene products. But when you want to go towards that static interaction due to the rotating inside of a non-rotating with two plastics, here's the beautiful thing: you can actually measure those field reactions with even just a simple DVM. You can actually measure the charge potential that the rotating plastic will generate in the air. The problem is it's not going to create a strong enough field to be that sort of direct causal link between the inner and outer.
Sorry, Judd, you're saying that if you rotate a piece of plastic, you can get some electrostatic effects?
Because of the friction from the air.
Right?
Yep.
Right. Brilliant. Wow. Wow.
That is part of why you do not have a styrofoam cup on an ESD workstation.
Exactly.
What is an ESD
Yeah,
workstation?
exactly. What's that?
Electrostatic discharge. It's a workstation with a grounded mat and
All right.
a grounded wristband and stuff.
Right.
Yeah, that way.
That's a fantastic
because
experiment, Jim. Sorry. Go on.
No, well, because that's the thing. Something as simple as a styrofoam coffee cup, you pick it up, move it through the air, and set it down, you can create enough of a static buildup around the cup that if you get close to sensitive electronics, you will short out an IC chip and cause a latent failure.
Wow.
Yeah, electrostatic interactions can be a complete nightmare, even in my lab. Some of the substances I work with inside the glove box, which is this oxygen-free environment, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much a plastic case with gloves in it, so you can work with it.
It's like an aquarium only for chemicals.
Yeah, pretty much. Some of those are actually quite sensitive to it, because the first thing you always do to actually start working with those is you put on one set of gloves, then you put on those thick as airtight rubber gloves, which are integrated into the glove box, and then inside you pull over a third pair. Now, what do you think what happens when you accidentally not, for example, if you touch the vessel in which the chemicals are in with those gloves?
Wait, which gloves? The outer?
Yeah, the three layers simultaneously.
Well, then the outer one is in contact with the...
The outer one will be in contact with the glass surface of the vessel.
No idea.
Wait, what's the outer one made of here? Latex, nitrile?
Yeah, some plastic.
Because of the friction from putting on that outer glove inside the box, you are going to have a slightly enough charge that in that environment you might actually end up causing a reaction.
Well, not a reaction. It's actually much worse. Let's just say some of the materials I work with are very, very fine powders.
Oh no!
So guess what happens?
It sticks fucking everywhere.
Don't do this correctly, which is why, for example, you only touch those glass vessels with a set of pliers, and never with your gloves.
Yeah.
You open this vessel. Guess what happens?
Contamination.
Fly out.
Oh, right. I see.
I just had an interesting thing, interesting picture in my mind.
It's actually so bad that the electrostatics in there can actually manipulate the results we see on the scales. Those scales are made to actually be able to measure differences in weight to up to 5 micrograms or something.
Wow.
And if the glass vessel is a little bit electrostatically charged, then yeah, that will influence the result.
I'm still trying to take in Jared's thing about the styrofoam cup moving it through the air can cause it to generate an electrostatic charge on it. I think that's quite amazing.
That's the whole premise behind the Ark of the Covenant, as far as I'm understanding.
But Gio, your thing is, I think, is brilliant. The idea of one rotating cylinder with another, which is exactly analogous, well, sort of analogous to the atmosphere. I think that's an excellent sort of thought experiment, or one you could do practically.
Yeah, that's definitely something you could do practically.
Yeah.
Because again, all you need is 2 plastic cylinders, a hollow one and a non-hollow one.
Yeah, but now we've discovered with Jared that's going to introduce some electrostatic effects. Might not be.
Well, that would just be more evidence.
Well,
again, we're making this entire thing too complicated.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Yes, that's a brilliant experiment, Gio. I think that's a good one.
I mean, if he really wanted to, if he wants another experiment, I would suggest have a smoke machine, fill a room, and then have like a cart and try and push that forward, or board and push that forward along the ground. You will see that the air above it moves.
The simple point is that even though he's already pretty much hung himself on his entire point anyway.
Yeah,
and that is by acknowledging the fact that friction would occur at all is already hanging himself, because honestly, all you have to do is stand outside and, on a cold day and just blow air out of your lungs. Once you see that it doesn't stop as it left your mouth, okay, then that right there shows the interaction of when one molecule in the air moves, it obviously affects other ones in that direction. So if he's acknowledging the fact that there's 1 centimeter of area that's affected by the rotation of the Earth, creating friction with the atmosphere, and then moving that part, then it moves all of it.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, it doesn't move all of it like a wall. It takes a little bit of time for that to pick up, but we've had a couple of billion years.
Well, no. Remember, the atmosphere was spinning to begin with.
Yeah, what we are saying is that, assuming that Riley was correct, that the atmosphere was stationary at one point and the Earth would be spinning beneath it, even then, over geological timescale, it would happen relatively fast.
And not to mention that the Earth wasn't formed with an atmosphere; it gathered it gathered its atmosphere as it was forming. So that means that there was also interaction of those particles as they were drawn to the Earth in the first place.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Well, obviously, we have the preservation of angular momentum right from the start.
Yeah, right. That's what I meant. Like, it's.
So Riley, I mean, my words to you are, Riley, because you acknowledge that there's friction at all between, or there would be friction at all, seeing that you're putting this as a what if, that there's friction at all between the Earth and the atmosphere. You can't say that it stops at that centimeter, because it doesn't. Okay, there's more interaction that goes on between the air particles. There's no statute of limitations of affected air molecules. Okay, it just doesn't work that way. It's why fans work. It's why planes fly. It's why turbines turn. All these things that we brought up here. It's why shears work the way they do. Okay, and it's why the ball bearings turn, like I just showed a second ago. Everything that's been shown here are all examples of the reason why that 1 centimeter that you acknowledge that would be affected would actually affect the entire atmosphere.
Well, now here's another beautiful thing that, as an example of it, that we failed to mention so far as well. A vacuum cleaner. The way it actually works is because the internal pump of the vacuum cleaner will start pulling the air in by those friction forces, which creates the low pressure out at the brush head, which is actually what helps get everything.
It's what helps clean up your vacuum.
Ask your girl; she knows.
Again, that's not shear force.
She's probably got to clean up that.
Doesn't matter.
No. It is still a result of friction due to air molecules.
That's right. Agree. Friction is a shear force. That's That is what friction is defined as.
Rumpus, the next time you say shear, I'm going to get on a plane and I'm going to come to wherever the hell it is that is in the UK, and
you see,
and I'm going to take a pencil and I'm going to etch the word shear in your forehead.
But I think as a knock of appreciation, something like a turbine or a fan does not rely on shear forces, which is what we are talking about, that accelerates the atmosphere of a rotating drum that's in the geostreamer experiment. Fans do not work like that.
Right, but the shear forces would be responsible for the amount of thrust that you could feel as you get further away.
Hey, Gio, I just want to say I appreciate the fact that I can get alcohol at this hour here in Germany.
Yeah, sure enough.
I might need to just get fucking drunk.
So where exactly are you approximately? In Berlin?
What? Oh, I like the Kurfürstendamm or whatever the hell it's
Udam.
called.
Okay.
Udam, yeah.
Yeah, that's actually an area of taverns in that area.
Well,
Yeah.
It's
Gio,
Germany, of
There's
course.
one literally
enough for him to
across
say
the
that he's
street.
in Germany.
Northwest of you, maybe about a kilometer.
That like Germany is an area full of taverns. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, but if you go down south to where Gio lives, a lot of them close.
Yeah, that's true. So for those who don't know, the brewery density per area is actually the highest over here worldwide.
But they close in the evening.
Yeah, they let their people go home.
Well, you don't get usually don't get the beer directly from the brewery to begin with. So
Actually, here you can. Pretty much every brewery has its own little store where you can buy something.
yes, so you get it from the store, not the brewery.
What time do the pubs close, Joe?
Here?
Yeah.
11 p.m.
Okay, well, it's not too bad.
Sometimes midnight, I think. It depends a little bit on the city and on the individual location.
Yeah,
Even if the weekends.
God damn, you guys are weak. Most of the spots here don't close till 1 or 2 in the morning.
Shit, when I used to live out in Bingen, we used to bring the sun up in all those places.
But yeah, I was about to say your bars close.
Yeah.
Well, Bayern's
Well,
Bayern's very conservative like that. They
Yeah.
I thought the Scandinavians hated alcohol. Like Swedes, for instance, charge you some ridiculous amount. I don't know what it's like in
That's
Norway,
not the same as hating alcohol.
isn't
No,
it? Oh,
It
right.
just means it's expensive to get drunk.
Yes.
Well,
well, no. Hold on. It's expensive in Norway and Sweden.
Helso, how much does or let's just say a case of beer cost in Norway?
What a case!
Yeah, let's say
Too much.
so that's 20 bottles. Which is
You don't buy a case. Like a 6-pack is like 30 euros.
holy fucking shit.
Jesus.
Wow.
Okay, Helso.
Yeah, there's a reason why all
They hate alcohol. It is the same as hating alcohol. I'm sorry.
No, it's not.
Guys, Helso, the standard beer that I buy, my Gutmanns Hefeweizen, right? That standard comes in a 20-bottle case.
Yep, for like $12.
17 euros or so. Plus
Yep.
maybe $5 more for fund.
Mhm.
You would not believe how many times, even though I've only been there for 3 days, you would not believe how many times I've had this exact conversation with people going like, so what does alcohol cost in Norway? And I'm just like, well, put it this way, this entire table, yeah, I could buy all your drinks and it would still be cheaper than if I drank alone at home.
It's like do I want beer with my pizza or do I want to buy a car?
Is Norway in the Schengen area?
No, I don't think it is.
Yes, it
Oh,
is.
No, yeah, we're in all the trade.
oh, that's right. You're in the single market. Yeah. It's
Okay,
like-
this means that a control on the border is rather unlikely.
Yeah.
Don't you drive an estate car?
No, they've
No.
got customs checks.
I flew down now, but yeah, normally.
Norway's not in the customs union, so there is a customs check between Norway and the EU.
You can drive over the border between Sweden and Norway. No one will.
You would not believe we've been discussing this with Brexit all the time, and the Swedish border, the border between Sweden and Norway comes up all the time. They're claiming that all these goddamn checks. Perhaps it's just for lorries or something, mostly, I suppose. But
Anyway, when are you gonna drive to Hockenheim?
Oh no, I was a couple of years ago, but I'm probably going again the next time it's the Grand Prix is there.
No idea when that is.
Yeah, I think it's next year.
But that's actually not that far away from me. It's less than 2 hours drive, I think.
Oh, nice.
It's no wonder the Danes are the happiest Scandinavians because they got bloody low cheap beer as opposed to the other Scandinavians.
We're not actually. Norway has the record. They overtook us.
Did they?
Yeah.
Of cheap beer.
Can't you tell by my voice how fucking happy I am?
No, I think the reason that beer is rather cheap in Denmark compared to the rest of Scandinavia is because Germany is the neighbor. And if they made it more expensive, they would probably have a max exodus.
The Swedes go to Denmark to buy beer. The Danes go to Germany to buy beer.
And we go to Poland to smuggle cigarettes.
Yes, or sometimes to wage war.
That's
isn't that a tomato thing?
I think we pretty much covered everything here.
Yeah, so we sorted out Riley now. We've got
No, we will never sort out Riley. We've taken care of this one issue.
Yeah, I agree with you, Michael. Yeah,
for the one American here, Jared, it's actually quite hard to understand for you. It might be hard to understand to you that you can get alcohol at 16.
Yep.
Oh,
No, you are forgetting a key word to that.
Legally?
Legally.
I was about to say, like,
yeah, I don't know many 16-year-old American boys who haven't had a beer. It doesn't mean
there's a difference between having a beer and buying one.
Right.
That's actually true. In some McDonald's shops in Germany, you can actually have a beer with your Happy Meal.
Yeah.
Nice. I don't want that.
In pubs in the UK,
that sounds amazing.
In pubs in the UK, you can be 14. I think you can be 14 if it is a child and go and have a beer with your family as part of the family thing.
It's the same over here. As long as the parents or the custodians are present and they are fine with it, you can get beer and I think wine at age 14.
Yeah, but they also have a new law here, which I just recently found out about, which is that normally you can go into a pub by yourself at 16, buy a beer, stay till midnight. However, now they have now that we've gone through this whole, what's that?
I think it's limited to 10 p.m. for everybody under.
Well, in Rhineland-Pfalz it was midnight, so
okay, yeah, it might be different Bavaria.
But then ever since the whole smoking thing about no smoking in pubs and all this other stuff, they've made a rule now that you can have what's called a smoking pub, which means that there's a sign out front that says smoking is allowed inside of this pub, but they make it not a 16-year-old can't go in there anymore. You have to be 18 years or older.
I
just went through that because my youngest, I just went to have my first beer with him, and we got kicked out of 2 pubs because of the fact that they were smoking pubs.
Okay, so here's a little different. So they tried that with the smoking pubs as well. But in order to actually be there, you would have to be a registered pub member. For that individual
registered pub member. What a concept!
Yeah, it's super weird because technically those count as like sports clubs, for example. They would count as smoker clubs.
Yeah,
it's just a legal cop-out way to actually be able to smoke inside a restaurant.
I like what they did in Ireland because when I went to Ireland, that was great. Ireland has this, the EU started having all these laws about, smoking in clubs and stuff like that. And Ireland turned around and they just defined the law. They said, what does smoking inside mean? And they had to come up with a legal term of inside, which meant an enclosure.
Let me guess, as long as there's an open window somewhere.
Well, no. Open window doesn't count because that is actually an enclosure. It's just being ventilated. They actually knock a window out. As in, there's no window, no frame on one room of that pub, and that's where just about everybody is.
So we had something similar a few years ago when we had they banned smoking in restaurants and pubs above a certain size, but they had the way it was defined in the law was that it said it was the size of the serving area, and some people who didn't want to like have to ban smoking in their place said, okay, the serving area in our area, we don't serve things on the floor, so they counted just the tables. Which I kind of have to give them. That is technically the service for serving area. Like, you don't serve beer on the floor.
Awesome.
So we
How did we start talking about this stuff? Oh yeah, hell soy.
Because
So
we got tired of talking about shears.
yes.
since you're now in Berlin for the first time, have you tried the atrocity they call Weisse?
No.
It's a wheat beer mixed with some, Sly Waldmeister. How's it called in English?
What beer are you talking about?
For fuck's sake, I have to look it up.
While you do that, I'm
That's
gonna
the Federweizen.
No.
Oh, okay.
because
That's
I mean, we've already
shit.
covered what needs to be covered, and I kind of want to.
Okay, so they take wheat beer.
Bye.
By micro.
Micro?
So they take wheat beer and they mix it with some weird flavors. Like it's like a beer mixed drink.
Oh yeah.
In a weird way.
In the States they stopped people from doing that for a while in the States because they figured they said it was making beer attractive to children.
That's what ciders are for, though.
Mm-hmm.
I've had a bunch of fucking delicious ciders this weekend, though.
I drank a whole bunch of cider when I was in Ireland.
A few years ago, they had all these.
Isn't that apple wine?
Yeah.
Yes, like, don't you live in the area where they do that?
Mm-hmm.
And
Apfelboy.
apple boy, I know. And yeah, by the way, to pimp my sushi, Federweisse indeed is live.
Right.
For those who don't know, Federweisse is pretty much
a good way to stink up your city.
It's wine that isn't wine yet. It's in the process of being fermented, and that's when you drink it.
It looks like milk. And you always know when it's Federweizen season because there's all these stands outside because most of the stores don't want to bring it into the store. But there's all these stands out at these vineyards and stuff like that, private sellers and stuff. You know when they're selling it because when you drive into that town, there is this very, very strong, almost like walking into like a closet of cleaning supplies smell that burns through your face. And yeah, that's some rough stuff, man.
You get used to it.
No.
I think you get used to every smell of fermentation.
Well,
like my current apartment is was in the downwind of a brewery.
Okay.
You get used to it.
Mm-hmm.
The brewery closed. It actually doesn't exist anymore in the way it did before.
Actually, I get downwind of a Nestle factory.
So Mariah wants to join.
Chocolates. Huh?
Mariah wants to join. He's complaining that we're having a hangout talking about booze without him. So Mariah hangout coming in over Skype.
So Sly, you've got a chocolatey smell around you for a couple of miles of you.
Sometimes chocolatey. You know that scent that you get when you open up like a powdered chocolate or a powdered some kind of a powdered chocolate type drink or cappuccino or something like that. It's different like every other day.
Yeah, I went to the Cadbury's place where they built in Bourneville in the middle of the UK, and you suddenly realise that sort of from about a mile around is this sort of chocolatey aroma. It's not unpleasant, but I'm not sure I could. Yeah, I think I could get fed up with it.
I like it when I take the dog out.
Can you please stop screen sharing because in the YouTube stream it's actually flickering whenever you're saying something. You're drawing.
Me, okay.
Yeah, you're giving people epileptic seizures, man.
Okay, I'll stop that.
Yeah, the same is happening with the stuff he's showing.
So, what's worth a 6-pack of Holz Premium Pilsner is $5.45 here.
So let's just round it to slightly less than €1 per bottle.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I assume that's 0.5 liters.
And it's back.
It's like $2.80 per can or per liter, because those are liter cans, I think. Yeah.
Beer cans are usually half a liter.
Yeah, fair enough.
The tall ones are.
Yeah, these are tall ones.
Okay. because the regular ones are.
By the way, never drink beer out of a can. That's just a mistake.
Yeah, it's not good.
You know those ones that they sell over at Reva, the ones the black can, the 0.0, 5.
5.0 and 2.5.
Yeah.
You realize that that's Oettinger, right?
Is it?
Yeah, it is.
Actually, I didn't know that. No.
Someone in the chat lives near Grolsch. I presume that's a place in Holland where they actually make Grolsch, presumably.
It's a brewery. That's what I know, but we have multiple of them.
I thought you said college.
Apparently, it's an Enschede.
Yeah.
I like beer.
Who doesn't like beer?
There's a gin palace.
I'm a hard liquor guy myself.
In my local pub, they've now got a gin palace now, and I must admit, I do like gin. And I didn't until about 10 years ago. My girlfriend sort of suggested, well, 20 years now ago, and then gin with a nice tonic and lots of random vegetables, vegetation. They seem to like stuffing in it now, and exotic what they call it, exotics and nutmeg and things. Gin, I think, has a real basis for being almost as nice as beer.
Man, fuck that. I want a nice tall Crystal Weizen with a slice of lemon in it, and I can sit there and milk that fucker all night.
Okay.
Anything that's called a mule, and I'm happy.
Rumpus, have you heard about the Golden Mile of pubs?
Nope.
Okay, it's a row of 12 pubs in a little town called New Haven.
In Britain?
Yeah.
All right. That's on the coast, isn't it?
I don't know. The pubs are called the First Post, the Old Familiar, the Famous Cook, the Crosshands, the Good Companions, the Trusty Servant, the Two-Headed Dog, the Mermaid, the Beehive, the King's Head, the Hole in the Wall, and the World's End.
Oh, I know what you're talking about, mate.
Okay, so you guys didn't get it.
Oh, I do.
Yeah, but the rest of us, the rest of you.
Oh, I love those, though.
And someone in the side chat got it as well.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, that's a movie reference, and I'm a little bit disappointed that you don't know about that one.
Right, there's a New Haven pub crawl. Yes. There's even newsletters.
You just don't want to crawl too close to the street, or you'll get the real reason for the Golden Mile.
Isn't it New Haven? Sorry, is this the New Haven? You sure it's in the UK?
I was making a movie reference.
Oh, sorry.
He was talking about the move with World's End.
Okay, so...
Oh, World's End. Oh, right. Yeah, right. The World's End.
Multi-Tom-Tom in the side chat, you said that wine is for kids and women. You said beer is for kids or teens or whatever. Then what the fuck do you drink?
Grape juice, because he's not even mentally old enough.
Do you think he's drinking milk out of one of those feeding cups?
Sorry for my yawning.
That's fine.
You know, I've been drinking a lot less lately, though.
I actually can't drink Jägermeister anymore. I just can't. You guys know why?
I don't like Jäger.
I had Jäger bombs last night.
The problem is, when you are a chemist, you actually learn how the different solvents you work with smell over time. One of them is isopropanol. You guys might know it as a disinfecting agent from the dentist. Dentists obviously usually smell like isopropanol.
And it smells like Jägermeister.
The thing is, when you actually drink isopropanol as a side ingredient in badly distilled liquor, it gives you a fucking headache because the stuff gets oxidized in the body to become acetone.
Oh,
fun.
Now, I can smell the fucking isopropanol in Jägermeister. And I can't drink it anymore because of that.
Oof. Well, I don't like Jäger anyway.
why has it got isopropanol in it again?
Well, because the distillation process is never completely perfect. So you always have some other alcohols, or for example, acetone is quite regular. 2 different propanols are in there. Methanol, obviously, you don't want methanol in your drinks, but there's always traces of that as well. And isopropanol just has this very characteristic stench.
But surely
Which is why I cannot drink Jägermeister anymore. It just isn't possible.
It's just more of it there's more of isopropanol in that than the other beers.
Beers. It's a liquor. Hard liquor.
Oh, okay. Right.
You don't know what Jägermeister is?
Uncultured fuck.
No, sorry.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I've heard the name, but I didn't know what it was.
Schnapps. It's
Oh god, Schnapps, all right.
yeah.
Someone needs to introduce Rumpus to Jaeger bombs.
Yeah,
Okay,
I've heard
Rumpus,
of
what
Jaeger
do you think is the worst thing you can combine strong alcoholic beverages with?
I'm sure absinthe comes in there somewhere.
Yeah, no. That'll be later.
And energy drinks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and here's the thing: what's worse, a Jaeger bomb or an Irish car bomb?
Why do you have to choose?
Okay, here's the difference. One of them is rolled underneath a car, and the other one will lead you to overroll somebody with your car.
Well, here is the actual difference. One is dropped into a Red Bull. The other is dropped into Guinness.
Oh shit. I'm hungry now.
You seriously don't know what Jägermeister is?
I've heard of it, but I've never come to grips with one. Sorry.
Like I said, you uncultured fuck.
Thanks, Halson.
Okay, so I think
I used to be
you're
a
gonna
bar
do
manager as well at university. I was a bar manager there. But we just didn't have Jägermeister, I'm afraid. It's not
Maybe that's just a continental Europe thing.
Yeah, I think so.
No, it's in
No.
the U.S. It is definitely not a continental Europe thing.
Every single time I've been in England, I've had Jaegers, either straight up or Jaeger bombs at every place I've been.
Here's a funny thing about Jägermeister. You can buy it in 1.75 liter bottles.
Yeah, but I kind of want my paycheck to last.
Oh, the most revolting thing I've ever had is oh god, what's that? Campari. That stuff I just can't. It tastes to me like a antibiotic I used to have for bronchitis as a child, and it's so detestable. I cannot even bear to touch it on my lips without inducing the most appalling effects in me. Campari, even in lemonade, dilute. Doesn't matter how diluted it is. It's appalling. You know this red gunk. People, you've ever had Campari? No.
Yeah, I've heard about it. I think
it is disgusting.
Might have
beyond
some in our liquor.
I think there must be a genetic thing about it. There's a number of people I've spoken about that agree that Campari is the most revolting thing that you can have. So there's a contingent of people out there who hate it, and there's another contingent of people who seem to love it. It's very weird.
Let me guess. Do all the people that hate it have a Y chromosome?
Yeah, yes, that could be it. Oh, there we go. Someone else is saying it's a similar herbal liquor as Jägermeister. Yeah, okay. If it's anything like Campari, my God, yeah, it'd be absolutely disgusting. God.
Yeah, so Jägermeister, the first time you try it, it will fuck you up badly.
Okay.
I don't like Jaeger. It tastes like soap to me.
I think my favorite like strong schnapps or beverage or whatever, like spirit in general, is probably ouzo.
Oh, I like ouzo. Yeah. I think ouzo's fine. I've never tried absinthe. That's something I'll keep on meaning to try at some point.
Absinthe. That will just fuck you in the head.
Yeah, indeed. I'm not quite the...
It's completely
like 80% or something.
Something like that.
Yeah, I don't like strong bloody. Gin and tonic's about as strong as I like to go, really.
I'm pretty sure you would like a mule.
Right? Yeah, I've heard of it. I haven't had one.
You can do a Moscow mule, or you can do a Jamaican mule, or you can do any type of Asian mule, which they do Asian alcohol in it.
So how do you manage to afford all this drinking then? If you come from Norway, or do you just simply do drinking?
Rumpus, I just want to address the thing that Helso just wrote. 1.75 liters of Jägermeister is 105 euros in Norway.
Yeah.
Here's like $35.
Fuck you.
So what do you drink? Is it beer most of the time, Halsoy? I mean, or do you simply
No,
dream?
I basically do nothing but hard liquor. So rum and vodka and some Jaeger.
I guess at this point, also, it's probably cheaper for you guys to drink, I don't know, aftershave and gasoline.
I mean, if your entire intention is to get drunk, hard liquor is still cheaper than beer, just for alcohol volume. But I just much prefer drinks like cocktails.
I wonder if moonshining's big in Norway.
No.
No?
No.
Well, to me, you'd make a killing.
It depends. It's relatively common on like what you would traditionally call the countryside, where there's a lot of homebrewing of wine.
Right.
And there's also quite a few people that brew their own beer, because brewing beer has become a really big thing over the last few years.
Right.
But no, there's essentially no large scale. Let's make a shit ton of alcohol and sell it cheap to make money.
I'm pretty sure that will get your ass killed anyway, basically.
I have another story about the moonshiners. There's actually various accidents every year in the US doing moonshining. Do you guys know why?
Explosion.
Yeah, but why does that stuff explode? Okay, so
overpressure, and then
no, it's much worse than that, Jared.
The shearing effect.
No, much worse.
Oh,
so
fuck you!
When they heat up the basins in which the grains are fermented, they use gas bottles for that. Obviously, so they heat them with gas ovens. Now, unfortunately, it happens to them every now and then that the valves of the bottles freeze because of the Joule-Thomson coefficient of the gas, right? It cools down as it expands.
Yeah.
Now, guess on how they actually unfreeze those valves.
No, propane torches?
Almost. They hold the gas bottles over the actual furnace.
Oh, no.
Oh, my God.
What could go wrong?
Well, Buster, this is how we loosen these valves.
So, yeah, as you might imagine, it often happens that those gas bottles actually burst. And,
All right, Joe Bob, this is what I need you to do. You need to grab hold of that bottle over there. Don't worry about what's in it.
Also, I occasionally have cocktail nights at my place and things, and when I go through, I've got a good cocktail book which I make over gins and rums and God knows what else, and cream and the banana daiquiris and goodness knows what else. And I agree, they're lovely. Yeah, it's a nice cocktail.
All right, rest in peace, cousin, Uncle Jim Bob.
cousin, uncle, brother, Jim Bob.
I actually had. I think it's the best meal I've actually ever had this weekend. We was at a place called the Kimchi Princess. It's Korean barbecue, and they made a Korean barbecue. It's fucking amazing. And they had something called a sail mule, which is some Korean alcohol they mix with the ginger ale, and had like mint and lime and cucumber in, and it was so good. Oh God!
Tom found Christ.
Oh, rather him than me.
Wait, so he's not a Muslim anymore, like he wasn't to begin with?
I don't know. He's talking about willing to teach people God's truth.
Oh God.
Well, that still sounds pretty generic, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a little weak.
Also, have you been to Mongolian barbecue where they do strange things with beef and they make a mix up of you can pick the herbs and spices and things you add to it, and then they heat it up on something in front of you, and then they shove it in a strange. God, I can't remember what it was. I haven't been there for years, but
one last weekend.
What Korean barbecue is, but they do lettuce instead of anything or something else. So you have like a table-side gas grill where they put whatever you ordered on top of, and then they have lots of condiments around it. And you take lettuce leaves and you pack it in and roll it up and stuff your mouth with it. It's fucking amazing.
Oh no! The best Korean barbecue place I went to was actually in Yokosuka, Japan, and they didn't cook it for you. They brought everything out, and they had the in-place grill right in the middle of the table for you.
Yeah. We also had some amazing chicken. Oh God.
Okay, Herzog, while you're still in Berlin, you have to try something called Mettbrötchen.
There you go.
That sounds very sexual.
It's actually really good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Should we
more
have a
sexual
slide?
things are.
No. I mean, there's nothing bad about it. Mettbrötchen is basically.
Okay, so Herzog, when you are talking about food hygiene, what's the first thing about pork?
Oh, you cook it all the way through?
Yeah,
Mm.
so guess what Mettbrötchen is?
Oh no! Oh God!
Is it just raw pork or seared pork?
Yeah, it's pretty much chopped pork on a piece of bun,
With onions.
sometimes with onions.
Oh, Gio showed
Gotta
me
have
some.
those onions, man.
Gio showed me some horrible pictures of raw pork dishes. They're absolutely disgusting things.
Oh, it's delicious.
Oh,
Mettbrötchen,
Gio.
I could eat that all day.
Das Mettbrötchen ist erst ausreichend bezwiebelt, wenn auch der Sitznachbar Mundgeruch bekommt.
Yeah, what he
that
said.
too.
Germans have terrible cuisine.
Some
idea.
Oh, you don't know the Dutch, mate.
I'm sorry. I'm going to interject with that. Me being an American and stuff like that,
Uh-huh.
I like hearty food that's got some taste to it. It's got some flavor to it. I don't need it to burn the back of my face off like some Thai food or anything like that. I love German food because
Really?
it's hearty. Everything comes with either potatoes or vegetables and stuff like that. I mean, it's awesome.
Really? It's all sausagey. It's all sausagey and then sort of glued together with something, and they make strange chops that consist of this, that, and the other mixed together. It's almost like they don't like the raw ingredients, then doing things with them. They seem to feel obliged to mix it all together with some gunk.
No,
Rumpus.
Here's a pro tip. The best part of the swampfish is its gonads.
There we go.
Dude, I'm getting hungry again. I have to go out and get
That's
some
actually
food
true.
now.
If you eat a carp, the best piece is actually the ovaries.
Well, then you will probably love Dutch food because that shit's just as bland as German.
Nah, German food's not bland, man.
That's curry, though.
It's all sausagey.
Well,
What do you have against sausages?
Germans did perfect the sausage, but that's not all German food is.
No, as I say, the other makes it seems to be some strange conglomerations of bringing odd disparate things together and then combining it in some like it's
Actually,
almost like a big sausage.
I'm going to contradict you there and
Oh,
say not really, because of the fact that most of when me being an American, I'll give you a primary example. One of the most common things that Germans eat at night for dinner is called Armbrot. It's just basically it's you're making sandwiches, you bread and whatever you want to put on it, and cold cuts or cheese or various other things. And I get looked at funny because when I make a sandwich, I make an American sandwich. Okay, which is piece of bread on the bottom, throw all kinds of stuff on it. You put some ham on there, cheese on there, turkey on there, all that other stuff, and then put various other things on it, and then put a top on it. And Germans look at me funny when I do that because Germans the Germans that I've known throughout my time here, they actually say no. You're supposed to have either a Wurstbrötchen, which is just with a slice of meat on it, or with a slice of cheese on it, or with liverwurst on it, or whatever you like.
Yeah, I wouldn't eat some liverwurst, no.
But when you mix the stuff, they look at you funny, like, what the hell you doing?
It's like the only thing that you're legally allowed to combine Leberwurst with is a pickle.
Yep, that's all I've ever seen.
Agreed.
But and so mixing things, nah, Germans actually don't mix things very much at all.
Except for our drinks.
So haven't you seen sort of strange steaky looking things where they try and put something like an egg or some strange thing combined with some other meat that's been reconstituted into
Wait, Rumpus. There's this type of schnitzel type of thing called cordon bleu.
Yeah, but that's
we call it pig squared. We call it pig squared because it's a piece of schnitzel. Inside of that is a piece of bacon or ham, and inside of that is a piece of cheese.
I'm French.
Horrendous.
Yeah, cordon bleu is awesome, but that's not even German.
Right. No, I've just had lots of meaty things that are not. They don't seem to like the raw ingredients, like, I don't know, the steak. Then combine that in some nice way, like the French do. They seem to want to mix things together and put strange things inside other things and mix them together.
I don't know what Germany you went to, but
yeah, I mean, I only went for a few.
Probably Schwaben.
yeah, something like that.
I went through Bavaria and around Heidelberg and
Talking about you, Gio.
so sort of Geo area. Yeah.
What? No.
Well,
I'm Franconia.
no. Well, okay, you're a bit north of that, but
What do you mean a bit north? Until 200 years ago, that was a completely different state.
true. Yeah. Well, you're the part of the Holy Roman Empire, for goodness sake.
Yeah, that
This
doesn't really say
best
anything.
schnitzel I ever had was about a month ago in a small restaurant, and what do you call it? And it had camembert and Preiselbeeren on the top of it, baked onto the top of it, and that was
yeah.
awesome schnitzel I've ever had.
And I went to Austria as well, so I suppose I'm talking about sort of southern Germany, stroke Austria, I suppose.
Well, Sly, it's not Sly, Rumpus. When it comes to culture, Munich is actually closer to Vienna as it is to Berlin. Just saying.
Right. Yeah.
No, I love no, German food is awesome, man.
Okay.
I've heard a lot of weird stuff coming out of Scotland and England. You know,
Scotland, Scotland has about the worst food.
Y'all got some weird shit over there, but
yeah, Scotland, when they're so desperate for food, they try and start stuffing it in sheep's stomachs. Yeah,
Yeah, so what do you think a sausage is made from?
exactly.
No, well, I avoid sausages. Full stop.
You avoid sausages.
I avoid reconstituted meaty things like sausages.
You don't eat cold cuts?
No.
Really?
No.
Never met a person who didn't eat cold cuts.
Why? Why do you avoid sausages?
I like purity. I like delicacy. I like purity, and I like sophistication. And sausages is not a part of any of that or anything.
One of those people who goes and spends a whole shitload of money on like two little diamond shaped.
You know what?
A leaf on it.
Oh, my filet mignon is too well done.
I know. It sounds awfully elitist to me.
I bet you're hard pressed to find a really good chef that doesn't enjoy a good sausage.
Mm-hmm. This is true.
Really? Oh, this is a strange world.
No, it's just
I mean,
because
Rumpus make sausage directly
it
out of
doesn't
blood.
matter how much effort is put into it.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, sausage is awesome. Oh, it's pizza.
It's all the worst bits of meat thrown together, then with a binding agent, then coloured to make it look acceptable, and then having something wrapped up.
Real sausage, man.
But so is owning a Volkswagen, but a lot of people still
The
do.
only binding agent in a sausage is the damn the skin around it.
But to keep it all together, they sort of cholesterol fest and fat and God.
Awesomeness.
Oh man.
Well, this is okay. I think we found the problem here. If something glutinous thing stuffed together with fat is exactly what I avoid. So okay, if that's your thing, then that's what we're having to do
right now.
So would you eat a fish that was fried in a pan?
Yes.
Okay, so
No
But not
cholesterol.
but not one of your ones, no doubt.
what, just because they live in a swamp?
Mhm.
Well, I hope. Well, hopefully, any fish that's been in the swamp will have a nice swim around in a nice clean swimming pool before it gets into my.
Well, actually, they can't pretty much swim because there's just too much friction with the environment.
So we sorted out bloody Riley's this issue with Riley.
Rumpus, next time you go to America, get yourself some pan-fried catfish.
Oh, right, okay.
Isn't that the favorite food of Charles Tucker III?
Yes, it is.
Oh yeah, it is. I guess, huh? But
it sounds fresh and from good ingredients though. Whatever.
Catfish are bottom feeders, dude.
Yeah, I appreciate that, but
food is awesome.
Good food is awesome, no matter where it comes from or how it's made.
Mm-hmm.
All right, like I don't give a damn what my sausage is made of, as long as it's tasty.
Mm-hmm.
Rumpus, have you ever heard about the food chain?
Yes.
You've seen this diagram here before?
Oh God.
Wait a second.
Is that where the friction of different animals causes a reaction down the line?
That one?
Oh. No, I haven't seen that one. It's quite a good one.
Okay.
That's quite good.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
Eat
If
it.
we can kill it, we can eat it.
Well, even if it doesn't bleed, we can eat it.
So is there some sort of English food you would like us to try? And don't start with your stupid baked beans.
No, that's not no. Though we do have high quality baked beans. You know, I do occasionally have a high quality version of baked beans, but
Oh, there we go.
I'll stand amended. Any food that contains beans is bad food.
no, it's not. There's some
What
very
about
nice.
chili?
You can have some very nice sort of lentily, beany,
No.
soupy
No.
things.
No. If it contains beans, it's shit food.
No, it's not. You can have some very sophisticated, nice beanie foods. I made the mistake of being taking my girlfriend to a vegan restaurant on 2 occasions a few months ago. My God, that was revolting. They seem to be so desperate for flavour. They grab anything and then pile it.
Yeah, I understand. Nobody wants to eat a piece of mushroom with lawnmower sauce. I get it.
And to be fair, just because it makes you want to shit doesn't mean it is shit food.
You can have nice things with mushrooms. I've had some very nice big mushrooms filled with a nice herby thing and something else piled in. You can make mushrooms very nice, but not these bloody vegan people.
Sly, do you know the English word for Pfifferlinge?
It's a type of mushroom.
Like those small.
The real small mushrooms. Yeah.
That's button mushrooms.
No. Let's see.
It sounds like you're already typing it. So.
Yeah, it's called golden chanterelle.
Oh, chanterelle. Okay, yeah.
Those are awesome.
Or we call it cantarelle. I believe it's cantarelle, not chanterelle here.
It's just a shame that they're still contaminated.
They're yellowy, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's cantarelle. Yeah.
So do people here cook for themselves at all? Make nice meals for themselves, or am I cook myself quite reasonably often? Or are we all just consumers of the products rather than manufacturing it from?
I cook close to 2/3 of the time.
Oh right.
If
It's cheaper.
Preston or I can put it in the oven, I will eat it.
Okay, 2 questions. Does making spaghetti count as cooking?
No.
Does an oven pizza count as cooking?
No.
Then no. Oh, well, I did cook some potatoes today. Does that count?
Gio, it does count as cooking if you do some kind of pasta. You chop up some vegetables and add some meat and whatever. Put it in a form of pan, like or put it in the oven and top it with cheese. So you have oven baked pasta. Then it's cooking.
Yeah, okay, because I'm seriously not talented when it comes to that. The only thing I can make is, let's see, eggs. Do you guys know what Strammer Max is?
Nope.
Sly?
I've heard of it. I don't know if I've tried it.
It's basically Abendbrot, so bread with butter and ham or bacon.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, either scrambled eggs or an egg sunny side up.
Oh, okay. That's almost an eggs Benedict.
You had to get bacon in there, honestly.
Yeah, well, bacon.
You say that like it's a bad thing.
Yeah, I can't.
Okay, Rumpus, do you eat meat, Rumpus?
I do indeed. I like my pheasant and my chicken and my beef.
I just have to say though, I had Five Guys for the first time this weekend because there's a Five Guys literally across the street from the hotel, and they had fucking more bacon on my burger than actual patty, and I fucking loved it.
God, I mean,
That might happen to me.
if people had pheasant, for instance, and duck, those are 2 of my favourite meats.
Wait a second. So pheasant, how much does pheasant cost?
Well, it's actually quite cheap because people go out and shoot it. They have to pay to shoot pheasant. The actual pheasant itself is relatively cheap.
Yeah, I was going to say, what's the cost of a shell? Less than $1.
Well, yeah, but people pay just to go on these shooting exercises. So someone has a shooting session of pheasant. So the actual birds being shot and caught because they breed them to be shot, and then
that's a just bad spot right there.
So the actual birds themselves actually are quite cheap because they don't. There's money gained by having them shot. So they're not bred as it's not the food product that these people do it for. They breed them to be shot, not to be eaten. But they then obviously collect the things and then have them eaten. So that's why. But pheasant's really gorgeous, along with duck. And,
duck is good. Duck is really good.
Definitely good. Yeah.
So.
I had duck dumplings.
Am I the only one who just likes normal minced meat?
Yeah, but mince covers up a horrendous number of sins potentially. If you had some sort of and I do eat minced beef, for instance, but I want to be able to identify where this meat came from. I avoid processed meat. Processed food is what I avoid most of all. Particularly if you go and buy some bloody ready meal or something, you can tell there's chemicals and things in it. And it just tastes like something synthetic and horrible.
There's chemicals in everything.
Food is chemicals.
But not natural, yeah. But these all these additives,
chemicals are natural.
all these preservatives, they taste of a sort of uniform, yucky, insipid. Bleh, whereas the genuine article is much more interesting.
I'm going to eat like a ready-made pizza in a minute.
How do they actually serve deer where you live?
Oh, deer's nice.
Oh, fuck, dude! I need to get a nightcap now. Holy shit!
What about reindeer? Oh, sorry. Do you have reindeer?
Oh, reindeer is amazing. One of the best meals I've ever had was back in primary school, actually. But one of my best friends at the time, his grandfather was a very active hunter, and they had a family recipe of almost like a hunter's stew almost, where they would take parts of the animal and actually make the broth, right? And they would first like pan sear the reindeer and then put it in with everything else, and you got it ready served like almost like a stew with herbs that was handpicked on the hunting trip and that kind of thing. It was just so good. I've never had anything like it.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Helso, but don't you eat goat head?
Oh.
No, sheep.
Oh, sheep, whatever.
Oh,
Yeah, sheep.
So, Ramos, this is definitely something you can identify where it came from. Would you eat that?
No, I would not. I can. It's because I want to be able to identify where it came. I want to be able to reject it, and I can't do that if it's minced up.
Have you eaten pig off a spit? Have you eaten pig off a spit, man?
No, I have not. I have some. I must admit, I did see one the other day, and I thought actually that looks quite tempting, but I avoided it. I don't like food that's staring at me, or could be potentially staring at me. Oh God.
So I do. I love when I saw it walking too.
Oh,
you realize that fish have eyes too, right? Have you ever eaten a plate of prawns?
God. What are these Chinese restaurants when you go and actually point at the fish? When I was in China, so then I'll have that fish there, and then they whip it out and eat it. I think, oh no, I didn't want. That's really unfair.
The best fish is fresh fish. Like when you can go and fish it in the river and just chop its head off and gut it and just put it on a stick and grill it on a campfire. It's so good.
Beer batter bass. Yep.
I do love steep.
Okay, the best freshwater fish, in my opinion, is carp.
No,
in New York we used to eat striped bass. We'd go fishing for it in the Hudson.
Yeah, I have a soft spot for that.
You would eat something that came out of the Hudson?
The northern Hudson.
Yeah, the upper Hudson River Valley is actually quite clean.
The Mensa in my university actually sells hoki fillet. And I had to look it up, but hoki is actually found in the Yangtze-Kiang River in China.
Oh, damn.
Would you eat something that came out of the Yangtze-Kiang?
God. Yeah, that's like almost getting something out of the what's the
I already know I could drink liquid mercury at that point anyway. It wouldn't make a difference.
What's the main Indian river they get all excited about?
Indus.
No, not
no,
Indus,
wait, no, that's not true. Ganges.
Ganges, yes, Ganges, yeah. The crap that's thrown into that. The idea of eating anything that's been in there puts me right off. Yes, I wouldn't fancy that.
Yeah, that river during the summer season is 50% corpses.
Sounds like a party to me. I'm getting hungry for some Slurpee.
So this has turned into some sort of a gastronomic hangout now, rather than this.
Actually, we're just trying to see if we can make you puke, man.
Yeah, you're on the verge. Yeah, there's some of those sausage things, and the things that Gio's shown me have made me feel ill. I can tell you, those fresh porky things.
Rumpus, you really need to try Smalahova, which is the boiled sheep's head. It is absolutely fucking delicious.
Is it Norwegian that has that smelly fish that they put in cans that they used to bury for free?
That's Sweden. It's called surströmming.
Right.
No thanks.
No.
And they're so smelly that, in fact, they wouldn't, in an edition of QI, they weren't allowed to open up in a studio, in a television studio, because the smell is so bad and so lingering, they're not actually legally allowed to do it. It's that smelly.
Yeah, it is, but smaller, it doesn't smell like anything. It just smells like meat. And it's so tender because it's cooked for a long time or boiled for a long time. It's like a slow cook meal.
You've eaten it?
Yeah.
He's Norwegian. What do you expect?
It's Christmas dinner.
Oh my god! But isn't it too smelly? Hold on, but what is this about this lingering smell, Lark?
No. He's not talking about surströmming. He's talking about the sheep's head.
Oh, sorry, about the sheep's head.
Yeah.
Okay, right.
Yeah, the sheep's head is what we eat at Christmas. It's fucking amazing.
So you got your food staring at you. Oh my god!
No. You pluck the eyes out and eat them.
Oh.
I ate a salmon eye one time on a bet.
Oh my god!
Got $80, man. I was like 15.
Jesus Christ!
Sounds like a party to me.
Mm-hmm.
I could take use of some salmon right now.
You'd be having kangaroo anus next and going on that bloody Celebrity Get Me Out of Here.
What's wrong with kangaroo anus?
Oh.
I heard about kangaroo that the best part is actually the tail. And yes, I've eaten kangaroo meat before.
Oh, also for chat, surströmming and lutefisk are not the same thing. No.
Isn't lutefisk like boiled in?
It's stored in lye.
Oh, neat. That means it gets this jelly type of substance to it, doesn't it?
It's dried. It's long term. It's a form of preserving it for a long time. Is what it is. So prior to having freezers and a shit ton of salt.
Well, but do you even need freezers in Norway?
Partially, yeah.
Okay.
So it's not the same.
Okay, so Robert, here's a challenge.
Oh
Okay,
god, no! I don't like your challenges.
Do you have any German restaurants in your area?
No, we're free. We're free of them. In fact, I don't think I've ever seen a German restaurant. I think they do exist.
Come on, there must be one over there.
I don't
know, the Crazy Crowd or Luftwaffles.
There was one. There was one in German. There was one in London. I think when you mentioned it last time, I think I looked it up. And there was a couple in London, which I go to. I'm about to go to there.
Okay, so next time you're in London,
right,
you go to a German restaurant. And then you send me a message with a copy of the menu they have. And then I'll choose what you're going to eat.
Oh, my God. I hate eating things that are revolting. I'm sorry. I'm prepared to go through pain rather than eat something I distaste. So I think that's the sort of challenge I'm not really interested in, I'm afraid.
Well, that can be arranged as well.
I mean, you sound like you have a very refined taste, right?
No, it's just picky.
How about the elusive Belgian blue waffle?
Oh,
sounds revolting. I hate waffles.
You should Google it.
You like oysters?
No, not particularly. I once had a friend here who was
Rocky Mountain oysters, man. You ought to get yourself some.
I did eat one. I ate one down in one go, and it was actually relatively pleasant. And with a friend of mine at the same time we were doing this, he ate one, and he went down the wrong way or something. And I've never ever seen anybody look so ill, going from looking reasonable to being ill. I think he just swallowed it slightly incorrectly, and God, he looked absolutely nauseous. I've never seen a human being adopt such a sick expression, even really ill people. It was quite extraordinary, but I can put up with an oyster, and that was a fresh one straight down. You're supposed to swallow them straight down, aren't you?
You know, when I was in the UK the last time in 2001, the one thing that I found completely revolting about English cuisine was we bought some pastries and we expected in there to be some jam or marmalade or whatever.
Marmalade?
And there was actually fucking meat in there.
Oof. Well, that's not a... You mean, are you talking about pasties or something you had then?
Yeah,
they're lovely.
Like sweet cake stuff with meat inside of them. What the fuck?
No, we don't do that. You got confused. We don't eat things with... No, we don't do that.
From the outside, it looked like a fucking cake or pie or whatever, but inside there was meat.
Right, but hold on. Yeah, but it wasn't sweet on the outside and meat on the inside.
Yeah, it did taste sweet and it had sugar on the top.
Okay, well, that's... I have never met such a thing. I don't know where you managed to
Well,
get that.
we were in Northumberland, so Berwick.
Really? Oh, really? Oh, right, Berwick upon Tweed. Okay. Okay, that's okay. That's a weird one. I've not met that. That
You
sounds like foreign
could
food to
make
me.
the argument that that's almost in Scotland.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's Scotland, which is obviously a gastronomic disaster area. Yeah. Okay.
What the fuck is that elsewhere?
It's faux.
That looks like Leberknödelsuppe. Is it basically liver dumplings?
No, this is beef meatballs. It's an Asian soup.
That looks delicious.
Yeah, it's a rice noodle soup with beef meatballs.
That looks actually really tasty.
Yeah, that's what I had for dinner today.
But again, it's formless, gathered together, processed meat.
So,
No, it's not.
Well, it's reformed something, isn't it? That's not. There's no meat that shape unless it's gonads.
yeah, we agree that it's somewhat reconstructed.
Oh, Gordon Ramsay would hate this guy.
We can rebuild it.
You see, this is it. Germans seem to go for reconstruction.
Right now, you just sound pretentious.
Right. I'm sorry. I don't like reconstructed, reformed meat. Don't like it. Sorry.
So, but then you can't eat any meat that's been on a pan because that reconstructs and reforms it.
No, it doesn't. No, that meat there bears no relation to the shape it started with. It's been reformed, molded, and then brought together with some fatty agent.
You can't fucking eat meatballs.
Okay,
Holy fucking shit.
Rumpus
it
is under the
depends.
impression that everything's glued together.
Rumpus, do you know the difference between the hoki filet at our university and the halebut filet?
No, I don't.
It's the pressing shape they use in the cantina.
Right, God. I mean, it might be. I must say, I'm not going to dismiss this thing of how this meaty thing. I mean, it could be if the meat's really good.
It's a fucking meatball.
If it's a properly non-gunky, non-fatty meatball, like a
meatball.
It's completely fatty. I can guarantee you that.
Oh,
It's
God,
fucking
right,
delicious.
Sounds like heaven to me.
So,
I mean, just take a look. Do you see that on the rim of the plate, like here? Those little droplets of oil.
feel free to share
And
it
then
on stream, by the way, if you want to screen share the image or whatever.
So perhaps there's some sort of Scandinavian, Germanic sort of addiction to fatty, gunky stuff. Okay.
It's Asian.
Oof.
Okay, all right.
It's rice.
Yeah, that's not,
It's rice noodle soup. What
indeed,
about-
when you said noodles, I thought it was a bit odd. This seems some sort of okay. I thought you were promoting it as some sort of typical dish, but yeah, I thought we said noodles. I thought, hold on, that sounds a bit Asian. Yeah, okay.
Do you know what Weisswurst is?
No, Wurst is sausage, isn't it?
Yes.
Right.
rice noodle
The
soup.
rest of you, do you guys know what Weisswurst is?
I do.
No, sort of.
Yeah, but you don't count.
Oh,
No,
bad.
you're gonna have to tell us. I'm afraid, Alex.
Wait a second.
Okay, G. If I do go to a German restaurant and you give me a reasonable suggestion,
Just look at that.
oh Jesus Christ! God,
Do you guys know why the sausage is white instead of reddish?
because they have to put a different dye in it. Because they have to put different dyes in bloody sausages.
how do you dye something
this is-
white?
Rumpus, this has nothing to do with dyeing them. The
Mhm.
reason why sausages usually have a red color is because they use sodium nitrate, which colors the meat itself.
Yeah.
And here, it's not a dye.
Okay.
Sodium nitrate itself is red. It does a chemical reaction with the.
Chemical reaction, yeah.
So the reason that these sausages are white is because they use sodium chloride instead of sodium nitrate. That's all.
Okay.
Don't you feel better?
So sodium chloride, as in salt. Right.
Yes.
And that turns it white. So
Yes.
it's not salty. It's just caused it to go white.
Yes. Those things are not salty at all.
No, they're not
Okay.
salty at all.
Actually, you eat
Okay.
them with sweet honey mustard, which is
Mhm.
the brown
Ooh.
paste stuff on the bottom.
Why?
Brown
actually
paste stuff.
So it's more reconstituted, reformed meat. What is it? Why Germans
It's
obsessed
not-
with this?
It's not reform, dude. All it is ground meat put into a membrane. That's it.
Mhm.
That's what worst is.
No sort of extra gunky agent to bring it all together.
No.
What the fuck do you even think?
Have you never seen sausage made before?
I have, yes, and it worries me. That's why I avoid them.
Well, sorry, man.
I've made sausages. It's not a scary thing.
And the meat is so anonymous. I mean, they put the worst quality meat in there. The stuff they found off the floor, and they gather it all.
No.
Shove it in.
Oh, well, where do you get this information?
I actually know where Rumpus
You
got
fucking sound like r/insane people Facebook right now.
Wait a second. So I actually know his source on that one.
It's
Look,
cholesterol.
one thing that is true is supermarkets will package and marinate
Take a look at
types
that.
of meat that don't actually look the best in their presentation. Doesn't mean there's anything wrong with them. They don't have the perfect coloration, so they'll use those for marinating and put together in the grill stuff and all that other stuff. But it doesn't mean they found it on the floor, dude.
Do me a favor, Rumpus, and take a look at the top right. Now, is that your source for what
That's
you
not
think
my source,
sausages are
no.
made from?
No, but the sausages are made from the very worst gonads and
Yeah, that's
sinew.
not true, mate.
Why do you think gonads are a bad thing?
Well,
I
there
don't
we go.
got all this information from, but I think you've been listening too much to these weirdos like PETA or something.
I mean,
What-
just for example, take a look at caviar.
Yeah, keep well clear. That's a weird one. Caviar. That's a revolting stuff. That is. God. Salty, yucky. Ugh.
It's just fish eggs.
I know. and
Fish eggs.
Revolting.
If
yes.
you want revolting
I mean,
food,
you do eat chicken eggs, right?
Yeah, but they're much more caviar is just so gunky
there's
and gooey.
literally no difference.
I even drink fish eggs. Sorry, not fish eggs, chicken eggs in booze form.
It's probably I think I had some fish roe at one point when I was about 13 or 14. My parents forced it on me, and I've never had such a revolting flavour thing in my life. And possibly that scarred me. But fish eggs, I find absolutely detestable.
To be fair, the only times I eat fish egg is on sushi. I don't actually eat like any sort of caviar.
Okay, so Rumpus, do you eat meat parts that are not completely cooked?
Meat what, sorry?
Oh, I want to know if you eat parts of meat that are not completely cooked right through.
No,
Like, for example, rare steak.
Yeah, I suppose I do have rare steak. And what's the other one?
If you're telling me you usually order your steak well done, you're dead to me.
No,
Like, you're literally fucking dead.
I usually have it pink, actually. And duck is another one I have pink. And even lamb, I think I occasionally... Yeah, I have that pink as well.
Good.
Thanks. I'm glad you approve.
I mean, can we all agree that snails are fucking disgusting?
Yes, we can.
Okay, fortunately, there's no French person in here.
Yeah. Oh.
It's like
No, but someone earlier in the chat did mention escargot.
On the other hand, Sly, don't you live on the other side of the Rhine, from my
What?
perspective?
Yeah. Why?
Okay, therefore your count is French.
Oh, jeez. You're the one who's living in Franconia.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we
So
don't.
you're more French than I am.
Oh, fuck's sake!
Uh-huh.
Damn it!
Uh-huh.
I was going to say, though,
Vor ein paar Tagen hast du da drauf gestanden, ne?
I know.
if you want a food, though, that's disgusting just because of the way it's made, foie gras.
Oh my god. Oh Jesus.
I don't know what that
For
is.
the people who don't know, it's basically when you overfeed geese.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
When you literally stuff food down the goose's throat, the liver will swell up and become fatty and disgusting.
It is disgusting. And the result is absolutely, in fact, it's about as bad as fish eggs. It is absolutely disgusting.
It's not about the taste, and this
Texture.
the reason why. No, not texture. The reason why I don't eat the stuff is because that's just animal torture.
Indeed, absolutely. It fails on all grounds. It's animal torture, and the revolt is absolutely disgusting in every regard.
I have to say, though, because my best friend, he's a chef, and he absolutely loves this stuff, but he hates to eat it because of the way it's made. But there is some guy, I forget where it is. I think it's in Asia somewhere, where there's actually a certain type of duck that will naturally overeat. Like, you don't actually have to do anything. and they'll eat, and you get the same effect, which is also why that's where they think the whole thing originated.
But
And
that's just as bad, isn't it? Like breeding a type of duck that will overfeed automatically.
no, it's not about breeding them. Like it's wild duck. They just that's just how they are. And from what I've been told, I have no source for this, but from what I've been told, that's how that initially started, because they noticed some ducks did that, and then they just started force feeding them. And I mean, if you can source it from something like that, I guess it's okay. But it's just no.
Someone asked in the chat whether Geo likes Marmite, and I think that's one another absolutely revolting things.
Oh, I love that shit.
So I've actually had Marmite only once. Isn't that a waste product out of the beer production?
Yes, I get confused between Marmite and something similar, Bovril.
Vegemite, I think, is a thing as well. That's like Australian.
Both of which are absolutely wrong, but I think Marmite's.
I love that stuff though. Like spread thin on some cheese.
Really?
It's not super salty, like ridiculously.
Yeah, it's nice on cheese. Like, you just don't put it on your bread.
Hey, Rumpus.
Cheese.
Rumpus. Check this out. Look at my screen. This is what I ate. This is what I ate the other day. Now,
come on, Sly!
Delicious, awesome.
That is. Let me tell you what that is.
Right.
That's 2 slices of pork.
Oh.
Deep fried.
Well, pan fried. And what do you call it? With camembert cheese and preiselbeeren, and then
preiselbeeren cranberries.
Cranberries.
Oh, cranberries are they? Okay.
Is the peanut butter? Has the fry been done in peanut butter?
What's that?
Has the fries been done in peanut butter?
Peanut oil, you mean?
Peanut oil, I mean. Sorry. Yeah.
Usually you do it in rape oil.
Yeah.
Wraps. I think
canola oil. Canola oil.
I'm just going to say this right now. I'm glad I have the oven warming up.
Because this right here was probably the most awesome type of schnitzel I've ever had.
Right, but again, you see, this is very German to me. This idea of just wrapping a random bit of meat and then shoving it and pan frying it with some. I forgot the covering it.
What's a random bit of meat? It's a slice of pork.
Yeah, but
it looks good to me. I want it. Give it to me.
It's awesome. And it's not glued together unless you want to say they glued the pig together.
I could put, yeah, exactly. At least it's a proper cut of meat, I suppose.
Okay, Robert, take a look at my screen. What do you think?
It's same where the meatballs are linked. It's a proper cut of meat. It's just meatballs.
So, Rumpus, what do you think this is?
Oh, it's not your bloody gonads, is it? No, that's red cabbage. I like the red cabbage. That's good. I like that. Now, what's this meat? Yeah, okay. It's a bit sort of. It's gonna be something revolt. Well, actually, it looks like proper meat. Actually, it looks like some.
Is that reh goulash?
Yeah, it looks like. It doesn't feel like goulash. Yes.
Yeah. So this stuff is called reh ragu. It's basically chopped up deer.
Right.
I was actually gonna go for elk or moose because
that looks quite nice. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, red cap, nice bit of potato there or something.
That's not a potato. That's a dumpling, basically.
Oh, okay. Okay. No, I think
that right there is what Bob Nodell is named after.
Yeah, that's true.
That ball right there is what
the yellow top reconstructed potato thing. That's like noodle.
Yep. It's formed boiled bread.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a great fan of dumplings, but the rest of it's not too bad.
But that looks disgusting, though. It's just reformed, reshaped cut of meat.
And it's not reformed or recut.
Yes, it is.
That was glued together bread, man.
Well, the meat is just cuts of meat, isn't it? It's not reformed in any way, surely.
Yes, it is. It's been cut up and then it's shrunk in the pan.
Okay, what do you think this is?
Okay, that has the potential to be really revolting.
Slide, do you know what it is?
Not really sure, no.
Hint, it's a Bavarian dish.
Oh, no. Don't know.
It's vegetarian, at least most of the time.
At least most of the time. Well, that's reassuring.
Yeah, you can put bacon in there.
Okay. No, I have no idea what that is.
We may or may not know what this contains, but it's supposed to be vegetarian.
It's not vegan, though.
Yeah, thank God for that. Okay.
This is called Oberster. It's a Bavarian cheese dish. Basically, it's you take pieces of camembert, for example, and rip them apart, and then mix them with onions and paprika powder,
That sounds
some
good.
bread, and then basically you eat it with a pretzel and just smear it on a piece of bread and then have a beer.
Just for the record, by the way, if you're going to eat something vegan, go order vegan sushi. That's actually really good.
So that's basically a really, really stylish Spundekäse.
I don't know. It might be similar.
Yeah, that's all right, Joe. Yeah, I could live with that.
There you go. Here's another one that I like. This I like a schnitzel like this too.
Oh yeah. Awesome.
Schnitzel with a sunny side up egg on it and fries and a salad.
Do you see how they cut the gherkin in order to increase the surface?
Mm-hmm.
The same
You have to
obviously.
get all geometric with that, wouldn't you?
I mean, yeah, it's all right. Yes, I mean it's
All I have to say is, God damn, you guys are making it difficult to decide what to cook for dinner.
What are you going to cook? What are you thinking of, Jared?
Oh, that's the thing. Seeing all these and comparing it with what I have in the inventory, I really don't know what I'm going to make yet because there are too many options.
Hey, Jared, I'll give you a hint. Make a nice pan-fried pork chop, put a sunny side up egg on it, and some fries, and you will not go to bed unhappy.
Okay, Rumpus, what do you think about this?
Okay, God. Oh, it's looking at me. I'm sorry, my food is looking at me again.
Actually, it isn't anymore. It's dead.
No, it's looking at me as far as I'm concerned. Well, at least
it has a face. Rumpus doesn't want to eat it.
Yeah, I mean, look, the potatoes look very well done, and I rather like the sauce actually. And these are sophisticated on the right hand side. There's some sort of mayonnaise thing that it looks as though someone's really trying here actually. And even the little vegetarian thing, carrot, whatever, looks moderately attractive. So yeah, with those sauce, I think I like the look of that sauce at the top right there. So if I could just ignore the fact it's staring at me, I suspect I could have a nice time with that.
Okay, so this is actually called Karpfenblau, which means blue boiled carp. Basically, you take the fish and you boil it in vinegar, which is not how I prefer it. I prefer my carp to look like this.
You had to cover it in batter, didn't you, Gio? You had to cover it in batter.
That's pretty much like a schnitzel, but with a fish
exactly
piece of meat.
Sorry, when everyone else saw that, am I the only one who thought, "Oh, poor Magikarp"?
That's why it's only half a carp. Usually, one carp is enough for two people. Though they slice it in half. Yeah, they pretty much slice it in half. One person gets the right half of the fish, and the other one gets the left part of the fish. And by the way, this thing is so crispy that you can eat the fins. They're super crunchy.
Oh, God. Well, that does not look attractive, Gio, does it? Come on.
Yeah, it does.
But you know what? It may not look attractive, but I bet it tastes fucking amazing.
Yeah, the first thing you do with it is because usually they crawl up like that because the spinal fluid ligaments like compress when they're heated up. So they always have this curvy type of quality to them. The first thing is you actually press them flat on your table. And the skin on the fish will rip apart, revealing the inside.
Oh, dearie me.
Well, okay. So, Rumpus, here's a question for you. What is your take on ingesting a raw egg? Not the shell, the actual innards of a raw egg.
I'm not a great fan of doing that. No, I wouldn't really care for that.
I still highly suggest you give true sukiyaki a try.
God knows what that is.
So so have you heard of shabu shabu?
Nope.
So it's also called hot pot. It's a self-cooked type of dish, really popular in Japan, where you have either a simple or complex broth where you self-cook the sashimi meat and also vegetables yourself. The difference between shabu shabu and sukiyaki, and both have the same premise. It's a hot pot type of meal where you go from the pot with your chosen cut of meat. You go to your preferred dipping sauce. The difference comes with sukiyaki. You then go to a raw cracked egg.
Oh, God.
And then you eat it and also season the rice you're eating by taking a bite of the rice and the meat or veggies at the same time. I will say this, the texture takes a bit to get used to at first.
It sounds
Hey, yo,
interesting.
Rumpus,
But
if
it tastes
Rumpus,
amazing.
if
Okay,
somebody put this in front of you, would you eat it?
well, I suppose so.
Let me guess. Is it pieces of innard?
No innards.
I mean, that wouldn't be a great. I mean, if I was desperate, if I was hungry,
What is it then, Sly? I actually don't know what it is.
yeah, you're probably something revolting in there, isn't it?
Oysters. Neat.
Oh,
No.
right.
Rocky
Okay.
Mountain oysters.
Wow. Okay, that'd be
know what that is?
interesting.
You know what that is?
No, I don't.
I do.
Now that you've said that, it's interesting. These are bull testicles.
Oh, I knew it. There had to be a testicle in here somewhere. God, right. No.
I probably still eat those.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's much less interesting to me now. That's right.
Rocky Mountain oysters are bull testicles.
Right.
If it's fried, I'll eat it.
Okay, Rumpus, next question. What do you think about bones?
Bones.
For example, this.
Oh, these one. No, not a great fan. Not a great fan, I'm afraid.
You don't like spare ribs?
No, not porky spare ribs. I'm not a great fan of pork, really.
But it's spare ribs.
I know, but I'm not great. I mean, I do quite like these gunky sweet sauces. I suppose I can enjoy that. But I wouldn't. I can enjoy a gunky sweet sauce sometimes, like, particularly on duck. So if that was on duck, I would really like it. I suspect.
I don't like duck that much.
Yeah. Okay.
I've
Okay,
had it.
next
I just don't like it that much.
What about
Do you like hoisin sauce, for instance? So if you had, I mean, things like the duck when you crush it and you mix it with hoisin sauce and turn it, put it in the pancakes. You not like that?
Oh, mushu. Speaking of, I
Okay,
think I
Robert,
have
what
everything
about
to
this?
make that.
would you eat that?
No, I would not eat that. That's one of
Yeah.
the horrible,
That's
fresh
cool.
bloody pork things, isn't it? It looks
That's why
revolting.
it's called medieval.
And what's more, it's
Yeah.
even trying to look at me, even though it's reconstituted meat again.
It's not reconstituted.
Well,
meat.
it's just ground and then bound together with. I mean, look at all that white.
It's not bound together with anything but itself.
Well, okay. What is it? What is it?
What do you
what's
think,
a-
when you grind meat, does it turn into powder or something?
well, no, but it's a fatty conglomerate of. Ugh.
Yeah,
No, that's from the same animal, right?
ground meat is goopy.
Not necessarily from the same animal, but definitely from the same species.
Yeah. All that is ground pork
Yeah. Ugh.
with a little bit of seasoning.
Oh,
A bit of olives and pickles and onions.
So people eat fresh pork, do they? Raw pork? Is that what
Sure.
you're saying?
Yeah.
But it's supposed to be full of liver flukes and things, and God knows what else is going to do you damage.
if you let it sit for a while, sure.
Say again, sorry, Sly.
I said if you let it sit for a while and anything goes rotten.
Yeah, you have
No, pork has liver flukes in it. and things.
You have to eat the stuff within 1 day and actually to be actually safe.
Yeah.
You buy it and then it needs to be consumed in the next 24 hours.
Right.
plus modern medicine, mate.
I mean, pork has more parasites in it than any other meat.
Well, guess what? The Germans are all still alive.
Oh.
So are all the Dutch.
Right.
Okay, so let's raise hands here. Who has ever eaten this type of thing on a bun or pure, I guess?
I had it about 2 days ago.
Oh my God!
too.
I ate it today.
Awesome.
Really? You're kidding me?
I think Rumpus is the only one who's going to walk away from this hangout not hungry.
I'm feeling ill now. My God! So we had Sly.
Starving,
We've got three majority on here. Only half of the bloody people have eaten this thing recently. I don't believe it.
It's absolutely awesome.
Oh my God!
All it is it's ground pork with onions and pickles. That's all. It's
Okay.
awesome.
me.
Right.
Again, Rumpus, it's fucking delicious.
Oh my God!
I mean, just
Because somebody made it look cute, that's something else. But
Right.
yeah, how can you not like this?
how can you not want to chop the head off of that thing?
Oh,
There you
God.
go.
They feel like gunky, fatty, meaty.
Oh my God, looks delicious, man.
All that glued together. Oh, sorry.
You know, in this instance, Rumpus, I have to agree with you.
Oh, thank God, Jared.
I cannot do raw pork.
Thank you, Jared. Thank God I've got a fellow
Joe, Your entire bloodline is weak, and you will not survive the winter.
And yep, my bloodline has a castle and a town named after it.
Yeah, but in
But who cares about having a town named after you? So do I.
I do too, actually. In Georgia.
Really?
Yeah, and a sports brand is has my last name on it, and a old German Nazi artillery tank has my name on it. Can I go on?
And actually, my last name is one of the most popular names for pubs in Ireland.
O'Malley.
O'Reilly.
Yeah, right.
Kelly?
O'Reilly would be especially evil.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
would be
it
pretty
sounds
bad.
like a Kelly to me.
Let's see, O'Brien.
Well, as you guys guess, obviously, I'm not going to say it.
O'Toole,
But,
Guinness.
But
Guinness.
the,
Well, Sly, you're gonna have all those flat earthers turning up to check your new experiment, aren't they? So they might be start quizzing you about your name.
I don't give a shit.
Does it start with O?
What's that?
Start with O, like
I'll
O'Malley.
give you a hint. There's not even an O in it.
Fuck's sake.
Kelly!
Starting, ending, or in the middle.
It's a Llewellyn.
Mm-hmm.
Llewellyn.
A
Although I think
English,
it's Irish, but whatever.
little bit of bad Dinglish going on there.
You know that weird stuff that starts with two L's for whatever goddamn reason.
What?
Llewellyn.
That's Welsh.
Yeah, I was about to say that. That's
Yeah,
Welsh, not Irish,
that's
right?
not Irish.
Yeah, sorry, my bad.
That's Welsh.
For a second, I thought you were going to go with Spanish or Portuguese.
Something. Was that Beloonese?
All right, that just happened. I'm playing Just Cause 4, and I'm fucking about with that tornado, and I just saw a Boeing getting sucked out of the air.
Oh, damn.
It's fun.
Yeah, that's a good game.
I was going to say that's not exactly a positive moment.
Oh, it's good times. I'm actually stuck in the damn thing myself.
So you're experiencing friction towards
Yes.
that tornado?
Yes, all that year.
But is it the pleasurable kind of friction?
Oh yes, it's like full on.
But I can say that in the chat, somebody did name the town where my last name comes from.
Remember, Jared, it's a tornado, so he gets sucked off and blown at the same time.
Oh, I fucking love it.
There was a tornado in the US today, wasn't there, or yesterday or something?
There's always fucking tornadoes in the US.
Yeah. Some of them's got sharks in them.
With how large of a nation this is, and especially this time of year with the change in temperature cycles.
Oh, yeah, spring and fall.
Mid-May usually.
Yeah, spring and fall suck in the in Tornado Alley, at least.
Sounds like a party to me. Let's go.
Yeah. I'm just saying, more Oklahoma is overdue for another big one.
In the UK, we actually get more tornadoes than the Americans get, but ours, of course,
maybe per area, but not in total.
The number of them, I think we have more. Well,
No.
okay, that's what I heard. We actually have more, but they're obviously little baby ones that barely do anything.
You realize that the top speed they measured in one was approximately 520 or so kilometers per hour.
That's fucking horrifying, mate. Like that's rip the flesh from your bones.
Yeah, those things can debark a tree and then rip the tree out and then rip the ground out.
Damn.
Those things are fucking horrifying.
Yeah, they are. But
I mean, I'm just fucking about with one right now in Just Cause. Like, I'm having my parachute and my wingsuit just fucking about with the thing. Really fun.
I'm confused. Sorry, you're witnessing one, you're near one, or sorry, you're playing with one. Sorry.
There's one in the game he's playing.
In the game, okay.
Let's see if I can screen share it so you can see it a bit. Okay, can you guys see the screen?
Yep. Just cause 4.
Okay. Oh, there's the tornado.
You're in a flying suit. Oh, right, you're in a...
Present to everyone. Okay. God damn it.
The frame rate is horrible. That's the shit that's
Thank Hangout.
So.
Bite me.
Hey, Gio, you got to hit present to everyone. Otherwise, every time one of us speaks, it cuts out.
Hey, I'm having a blast, though.
See, now that's not real.
Yeah, the chute wouldn't deploy that quickly.
Right.
Hey, it's
See, if gravity was real, then how did you just make that jump?
Oh, I'm going to make some even worse shit going on right now.
The gravity thing is the one, actually, one of the things that I really almost can't cope with, the fact they deny gravity. It's, get on some scales and they don't understand it's a force. We say it's a force.
To moan about a giant airplane.
Wait, was that just a container and then a plane fell on it?
Yeah, well, it came out of it.
Don't you know the one story about... so in GTA San Andreas, right, there was this feature. It was not a bug, it was a feature that actually planes would randomly crash on the map.
Yeah.
And during a speed run where somebody was attempting a new world record for the game, he got killed by one.
Okay, now explain this to me. First, you jumped, you skydived in.
You've taken off again.
The air, jumped out of the air, landed on the street. A container fell out of the sky, and then it turned into at least a 2-engine airliner, which you took off with going down a hill, and then just jumped out of.
Yeah. Well, it exploded. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm starting to understand flat earthers now.
Well, the thing is, this is basically every man's dream. This guy.
It is a bit of a dream, isn't it? Yeah, be able to do this. Having your own flying suit is, I think, every bloke's want one of those.
You can be a James Bond and do stupid shit, get fucked by a tornado or something else. Fun times for everyone.
What game is this?
Just Cause 4.
What is it?
Just Cause 4.
Just Cause 4.
You've played this, no doubt, Alex.
I haven't played Just Cause 4. I've only played Just Cause 2 and 3.
Oh, it's okay. Yes, you played Just Cause. Okay.
I mean, the entire synopsis of this game is weird. And help the suppressed villagers by destroying the water tower.
Yeah, basically. Oh, and yeah.
There seems to be a lot of... Now we've got a fighter plane that's left. It seems remarkably good at... This is not realistic, is it?
Who gives a shit?
Where's the runway?
Who needs a runway?
Yeah, you have to take off on a perfectly flat surface. Don't you know that?
Yeah. I mean, it's got swing wing bloody... Is that supposed to be an F-114 or something?
No. I don't know.
Swing tornado. Or some swing wing bloody thing.
Okay, so here it is, right? There's a couple of 20 and 30 something sitting in a room somewhere, and they're like this. They're like, all right, so we're gonna make it so containers fall out of the sky, right?
Those come airliners.
And we don't need to unpack them; they just turn into airplanes.
Do you guys remember that one GTA 5 mission where Molly gets sucked into the turbine of the aircraft?
Amazing.
That one was beautiful.
I love that part.
Do we play Kerbal? Oh, there's the tornado.
Yeah, why is that tornado not going anywhere?
Oh, it's going. It's going. Don't worry about it. Whoop.
Oh yeah, don't need that. Just let it go crash into some town.
It is moving about. See?
Uh-huh. As you harmlessly fly around it.
Yeah. Here. Whee!
So take your chute into it.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what you're doing? Yeah. Okay.
I saw a few weeks ago there was some sort of drone that could now lift a person, and they got their own four things. But it was these. I think these were the propellers were still somewhat exposed. I mean, if you sort of fell off, you'd still go through them and be minced by these things. But there's
there's been a couple of projects like that I've seen.
Right.
People who make their own hovercraft, basically their own flying drone that they can sit in the middle of.
Yeah, I mean, about 5 years ago, there's some ones where they had it above you, where you could sit and had the propeller above you. And I think it was about 5 years ago, they first finally sorted out a single flying thing for you. But now there was this thing now has got 4 propellers. Now that the drones are starting off this 4 propeller lark, now there seem to be several that are offering a 1-person transporter based on a drone design.
Who needs airplanes when you can fly yourself?
God, it's amazing what's happened to computer graphics. Jesus Christ.
Ray tracing.
Yeah.
The crazy part is that we're watching this through a hangout and it looks at least this good.
Yeah, quite.
Obviously, if you played it like this, the frame rate would be absolutely unplayable.
See, now I already don't like the game. See, you died. That's so unrealistic.
Well, it's fun time though. Like there's a lot more kind of disasters that you can fuck about with, like sandstorms, a thunderstorm, a blizzard.
Boring compared to a fucking tornado.
Huh?
A sandstorm is fucking boring compared to a tornado.
True, it's hilarious. Plus, the funniest thing is you can actually control this damn thing, somewhat.
Gio, you're being asked in the chat who Anthony Riley is, and what did he say?
He's wrong about friction in the atmosphere, and he's an idiot. I think that answers both.
I think that covers it pretty much.
Who's Anthony Riley? He's wrong.
God, how wrong can someone be? Jesus Christ.
You know what? Fuck it. I know what I'm gonna do. Where is the thing? Where is the thing? There it is. I'm going on a rampage. Shall I steal that airplane? Fuck it. Even better. I'm going to steal an airplane.
How big is the map this time?
It's absolutely massive.
Let's like how much in them? It's weird to compare it to GTA, obviously, because the means of transportation is different.
It's bigger.
Okay, so here's the second question. What is the goal of the game, or is it just open world?
Well, the goal is to... the airplane is not here.
It's always to liberate some sort of island state from an evil dictator.
Basically, yeah.
And you do that by pretty much just fucking up the infrastructure.
Destroy what you can destroy, and if you can't destroy it anyway.
Yeah, again, help the villagers by blowing up the water tower. That's pretty much the entire synopsis of the game. By the way, Rumpus...
Go up to the statue on the top of the hill.
That's not a statue over there.
What is it?
That's a
Radio
dish.
telescope or something?
Yeah.
That's a satellite dish, a really big one.
By the way, Mariah, did I disturb you enough with the size of...
No, not that hill. The one to the right there a bit.
There's no statue there.
There's something up on the top there. It was lit up.
Maybe. Well, you wanted to ask something, Gio.
Yeah, did I already disturb you enough with the information about the size of that black hole?
No. I've actually did a little bit of research. There are bigger ones.
I know, but still, 5 billion solar masses, that's not...
Yeah, don't get hit by the pieces of the plane you just jumped out of.
I was actually planning to dump a tank in this thing.
A tank?
Yeah. Tank? This one.
Uh-huh. And just drop it right there on the satellite dish.
Yeah, and then destroy the satellite dish with said tank. And see what happens. If the tank doesn't outright destroy thing.
You aren't into PC gaming, are you, Sly?
I kind of am, but I mean, there's just so much out there. It's impossible to follow.
Yeah.
I like overhead strategy games, not so much the shooters.
And Conquer, fun times.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
I can play hours and hours of Command and Conquer Generals.
Conflict.
Mm-hmm.
Anno.
Nah, not so much Anno.
I have to get out of the tank because it's gonna explode.
Empire Earth.
I've never played that.
That was a good one.
Like, isn't this anyone's dream to do that?
Oh, wait, I was about to ask, what the hell was that?
That was a satellite dish.
No, not the item he destroyed. How he destroyed it.
Oh, in the bottom left you see 3 rockets, right?
Yep.
I can shoot those anywhere I want to.
I think it's funny that you like the part where it got destroyed. I like the part where it actually received the equivalent of an M1 Abrams tank and just kind of stood there.
Oh, the collision physics in this one is beautiful.
Yeah, it's a pretty fun game. There's a lot to do in this game. Like,
it's a shame. It's a shame though that the maps in Just Cause aren't as detailed as they are in other open world games. But I guess that's just the result of the means of transport that you use by just flying over everything.
Yeah, like right now I'm just flying. I can literally stay in the air indefinitely if I want to.
Says he who just crashed into the side of a mountain.
I didn't crash. I didn't crash yet.
That looked like you crashed.
Sly, did you play by any chance GTA 5?
I've actually only ever played the very first GTA that ever came out.
GTA 1, the overhead one?
Yep.
Oh dear.
As
I
in
actually
like
have to follow those
old school.
You actually have to you have to play number 5. It's just too brilliant. It feels like a 50 to 60 hour movie.
Well, the other side is that last time you recommended a game to me, it cost me 2 days of computer time. So
which one was that?
Portal.
Yeah, but let's be honest, Portal is fucking awesome.
It is.
Yeah,
that's why it cost me 2 days of computer time, because I didn't stop playing the damn thing.
Wait a second, you needed 2 days for Portal?
No, Portal 1 and 2.
8 hours.
Yeah, usually if you're good, you can do Portal 2 in 2.5 hours.
Well, man, I gotta eat and I gotta sleep.
You're weak.
And speaking of, I'm heading off to go figure out and cook dinner.
Yeah, anyway, I think it's time to end. We're already half past midnight over here, so.
Oh yeah, it's that time of the year again, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think Rumpus went to go puke.
Everyone.
Yeah, we really got him with our delicious food, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
But don't worry, he will learn the true ways. Is there another fucking tornado?
Yeah, I just made it. No, I just made it.
You just made it.
Yeah. Here, I can also remove the thing, and I can steer it whatever the fuck I want.
Are you fucking Thor?
No.
Gio, I gotta get, man.
Yeah, okay, so actually, Sly, wait a second. We're gonna just end this live stream the good old way. So, Mariah, since you're playing, you are the one to start. Say what you have to say and then please leave.
Well, it was fun. See you.
Sure. Jared, you're the next one.
Some people just don't know how to have fun with a little bit of friction.
maybe Riley needs more lube or something. I don't know. Okay, Halsoy.
Is on mute.
Okay, then Sly. By the way, Sly, you stay please for a minute after we finish the stream. I need to talk to you about something.
Okay. My last words are going to be: I'm going to log into Wikipedia and make sure the word shear is taken out of everything.
Okay, thank you very much for joining. Hellsoy, let's try this again.
Nah, I think he's away.
No, yeah, I think he's gone. I'm just gonna kick him out. Thank you very much for joining, Hellsoy, anyway. I appreciate it. And with that, yeah, again, Riley, you were wrong.
Somewhere about an hour and a half ago.
Yeah, pretty much. Thank you, everybody, for watching. See you next time. Oh, I'll actually probably be offline for the next 10 days or so, since I'll be taking a vacation at my grandparents' house.
Lazy bastard.
Well, it's Easter. So I guess that's justifiable.
In Bayern.
No, my grandparents live in NRW.
Also.
Okay, anyway, well, barely. It's almost Hessen, just like half a kilometer or so of NRW in between them. Anyway, thank you, everybody, for watching this. See you next time. Have a nice holiday if you celebrate them or not. I pretty much don't, but I'm forced to in a way. Catholics. Thank you very much. See you.